Go. Hey guys, welcome back to the Full Court Press podcast. And today we have a special episode. So as usual, I'm Abhiraj. I'm on the top because I'm taller than the two guys below me. We're having a bit of a different setup. Aaron and Adwaita both below me.
Yes, Aaron, finally, bro.
So they're on equal standing. But today, for the first time, our first special guest, and I think the word special really encapsulates it, doesn't it? To my right, Abhiraj Mitra, guys. Can we have a round of applause for Abhi?
Yeah,
Thank you for joining us, buddy.
Abhiraj, how do you feel,
Hey,
bro?
man.
You're the first guest on our podcast.
I actually feel very honored. Even before we started the podcast, I asked if I was the first one. I felt very hyped up for this. I'm ready. I was ready for this podcast. I was waiting, for when I get my call for a feature on this podcast.
See, we're extremely happy to have you on. Thank you for giving us your time. And the reason Abhiraj and I are donning our Man United jerseys is because this episode we're going to be it's the first episode in a new series we're calling Looking at the Season That Was and the Season That Will Be. I probably have to rethink that name. It's a bit too long. Okay, so we're basically going to be reviewing last season and looking forward to next season for a few big clubs, the clubs, the most widely supported clubs, stuff that you guys want to hear. And the first episode is my club, Abhiraj's, and my club, Manchester United, the biggest club in the world, the best club in the world.
Yes, best club in the world. Yes.
Biggest, best.
For
Yes,
a long
best club in the world.
time.
Aaron, best club in the world.
We've been on a
Best club in the world loses to Sevilla, no?
Okay. Listen, we'll get to it.
Nice.
Let's get to it. Okay.
My bad.
So we're going to We're going to start off by reviewing the season of the 2019-2020 Premier League, FA Cup, League Cup, Europa League season, whatever United participated in, and look forward to next season and things. And again, we specialize in predictions. As you know, we all get our predictions right every single time. So we will be giving our predictions for what United season is going to look like next season.
Well, it's going to come and bite me in the ass later on. I really think these predictions.
It's okay.
It's going to bite me in the ass, bro.
Oh, it's okay. We got our first prediction.
We got our very first prediction wrong. We thought the Bucks would sweep the match, and then they lost game 1. So it's okay. You wouldn't be the first one to mess up your predictions. Okay. So looking back at last season, there was a lot of optimism. We bought some really good players, or players who we thought were really good. We bought Harry Maguire from Leicester City, current club captain for £80 million, who's currently stuck in jail in Greece. I hope
he got cleared. He got cleared, man.
Oh, he got cleared.
He got cleared. He got out.
He's back in the UK.
Yeah.
How do you feel about your club captain being in jail?
We'll get
about that. Your club captain in jail.
Think about that.
A good example.
Aaron, slow your roll. Your club captain threw his shirt because he didn't want to stay at the club anymore. Granit Xhaka did that. So I don't think you have a right to talk to us about
And now he's bossing it.
Please.
He's bossing it now, though.
Don't even try. Come on.
I don't think Maguire's ever bossed it this entire season, but okay.
Okay. No, listen, we will get to that. My God, man, you guys are sprinting.
No.
I'm just trying to jog.
No, it's been 3 minutes, and I'm this close to taking a cab to freaking Villa Community and beating Aaron up. Yeah,
this is why we wanted our friend.
Abhiraj, don't worry, I know his location, bro. I'll come with you.
This is why we wanted Abhiraj. I think we can call him Raju for the rest of this podcast. This is why we wanted him on, because of the emotion he provides, but also some solid analysis as well. I mean, we talk about United all the time, and he's one of the people that really can be unbiased most of the time, and I feel that I find that to be very rare in Manchester United fans. I mean, I think I myself can be very, very biased at times, but it's just the things you do for the love of your club, isn't it?
Of course.
So looking back at the signings we made last season, we signed Harry Maguire for £80 million from Leicester City, Aaron Wan-Bissaka for around £50 million from Crystal Palace, and Daniel James from Swansea for around £20 million. And then there was a mid-season acquisition of Bruno Fernandes from Sporting Lisbon. Around
Big boy Bruno.
Yes.
For around 50-60 million pounds.
47 million with 13 million in add-ons. Yeah.
Oh God, this guy's got his information ready. Jesus. Oh God. Okay, and
Look at Aaron smiling.
This guy's got his info ready.
Aaron's feeling like I'm telling you, Aaron got a Colgate endorsement. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, look at that.
No, I'm impressed. I'm
Cute
actually impressed.
He's got the.
Yeah,
He's got the.
Wait,
No, hold up.
Abhiraj studying, yeah. Abhiraj needs the numbers.
Aaron's
See,
teeth are
businessman.
so white. They're like Bobby Firmino teeth, dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
What is this?
Wait, I have a question. Is it Bruno Fernandes or Fernandes?
Which
Fernandes.
Bro, so this is how it is. This is how it is, bro. In
Bruno
FIFA
Fernandes.
20, we call it Bruno. No, in FIFA 20, we call it Bruno Fernandes. In real life, we call it Bruno Fernandes. So
Yeah,
it
so
depends from where you're
Bruno
looking at it.
Fernandes.
Let's just go with Fernandes for now, because Fernandes is okay. Let's just pronounce it how it sounds. You know, we
Big
don't
boy
say.
Bruno.
Yeah.
We pronounce all our names the way we say it. So let's just go ahead doing that. Bruno Fernandes for around what Abhiraj said, and the loan of Audio Nigalo from the Chinese Super League for
Shanghai, yeah.
Shanghai Shanghai, for 6 months.
Yeah.
Nice.
Looks like Abhiraj is really prepared for this podcast, hasn't he?
You don't need to prepare. You don't need to
fan.
prepare for it when you already know it. You know.
Fair enough. Fair
He'll
enough.
replace one of us soon.
Got all the facts on hand. I mean.
We have no stats.
I mean, as we do say, we are an incredibly professional podcast, incredibly professionally conducted podcast. We keep our statistics on hand, but I mean, we choose never to access our statistics, don't we? Don't we? Although we have everything, don't we? But we just choose not to look at it.
Yeah,
It's from the heart.
But
It's
it's
from
all
the
in
brain.
here. It's all in here. It's all in here. Don't worry. We know what we're doing.
Worst case scenario, just invent stats. They're not gonna
Just
do.
invent stats. Bro, we're not doing our,
It's
we're not doing
like
our
when,
IS, bro. We're not doing our IS, bro. What are you on about?
But did you see there was a recent interview? Yeah, Kendrick Perkins said at age 35, Michael Jordan didn't even try to win a ring. When he actually won a ring.
Nah, bro. Kendrick Perkins, I like him. He's got passion, and he was a good player for
Boston blood.
Championship Celtics 2008. But we're not talking about basketball. We're going to talk about Manchester United. Okay, so how would you say our signings got on in that first season? Let's start with I think probably the clearest answer that we have, Daniel James. How do you guys think Dan James got on? Abhiraj, just start with you.
So obviously, Dheeraj, you know this very well. I was a big fan of Dan James. You know, especially with the way how his season started, with unfortunately the passing of his father. You know, I really wanted him to succeed in this club. Obviously, not just that, but you know, in general, because he is a Manchester United player. He did start off the season well, scored a few good goals, but I don't know. It's as the season's progressed, you could clearly tell that you know he's not really not ready for the Premier League yet. You know, it's hard to see. And it's difficult at times because as he's running down the wing, and I've told this to you so many times, he doesn't know what to do. He's just running and makes no specific pass, which frustrates me a lot. But yeah, I don't think he's still ready to play for us. I think I want to say I would want to send him out on loan, but unfortunately with the bench we have, I don't think that's possible as well.
Yeah.
But no, if I had to give him a rating out of 10, I would give him like a 5.
Yeah, I think the start to the season was really, really promising, wasn't it? I remember the goals against Chelsea. I remember the goal against Southampton. I remember these wonderful goals he scored. He was almost like in the first part of the season when we weren't doing well at all. He was our primary source of creativity, wasn't he? When Rashford and Martial really hadn't hit that stride. Martial was injured at the beginning of the season, and Rashford hadn't hit his stride quite as of yet, which he went on to do.
Yeah.
Into October and
100%.
November. But those first 2 months, August, September, and even into October, I thought Dan James was great. But after that, I begin to see a rapid fall off. I mean, the physical talent is there for everyone to see. I mean, he's one of the quickest players. He's probably the fastest player in Manchester United.
He is the fastest player. Yeah.
Yep, and he's one of the quickest players in the Premier League, isn't he? So the physical talent is there. The physical attributes are there, and of course, he was signed on recommendation from Wales boss and
from Giggsy.
Yeah, Man United legend Ryan Giggs. So we expected great things, but again, we did begin to see a fall off not because of the decline in his effort or physical attributes, but his decision making was completely and his temperament. Exactly. As a 21-year-old, of course, it's very hard to play with Manchester United. None of us can empathize with that, obviously, because we haven't been there, have we? But we can understand that I mean, Old Trafford is the biggest stage in the world. You've got hundreds of millions of people watching you. So playing there can be tough. But I begin to see, his decision-making isn't quite as refined as it should be for a Premier League player, for a Man United player, even more so. I mean, I remember one incident. We won this game against, we won the Manchester Derby against City. But I remember when he was in on goal, but with a defender on him, and Bruno Fernandes was open at the edge of the box and like wide open.
Yeah,
And we won the game, so it went unnoticed. But the one thing I remember is he didn't pass; he decided to go for the shot. And that lack of vision, the lack of decision-making ability to take the decision that would lead to a better goal-scoring chance. Like sometimes he doesn't seem to understand that sometimes, you need to take one step back.
You know what? But
steps forward.
Yeah, sorry for interrupting you, but what frustrates me, is that when this signing was announced, honestly speaking, I wasn't really into it that time. But when this signing was announced, I went through some of his highlights when he was playing for Swansea, and I could understand why Giggs made that recommendation. He played well for Swansea. I saw the highlights. Like, he has that thing. I don't know. This just tells me, the jump from the Championship to the Premier League is no joke, because that clearly is such a huge jump for him. Because those decision making when he came to the Championship, he was doing it. Obviously at times you don't make the right decisions, but most of the time he was making the right decisions. So that tells me that he has it in him. He has it in him to make those good passes, to look for the player, make a good run. Because now when I'm seeing him play, literally just running around the wing and crossing it in. There's so many situations where I've seen him cross the ball into the box and there's no one in the box, and I've literally screamed at the TV because how frustrated I get with him. But yeah,
I can relate.
He had a great start to the season. Right? He scored on debut and everything. I think, and he had a couple flashes of brilliance. But then after that, his consistency wasn't there. He got injured a lot, and then like you said, Abhiraj, he just kept running down the wing. He didn't have anything. I mean, like he didn't have that much experience, right, of composure to play.
Yeah,
he just kept making a random run to the wing, and then he misplaced a pass here and there, and that eventually caught up to him. But I think if I were to rate him, I think I would give him a 6 just because of how inexperienced he is.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'd agree with you. I think in the Championship, your physical attributes are more on show than your mental skills,
where your technical ability,
make decisions. Like you can get away with making a bad decision with your physical attributes. You can't do that in the Premier League. You have this is the most physical league in the world. The most physical. I mean, it's the strongest league in the world and one of the toughest to play in. But it's also quick pace, so I can understand why the signing was made. It's obviously signing for the future, and I do see Dan James in a couple of years, maybe 3 years down the line.
You see him starting 11.
Maybe so. If he's able to develop those decision-making skills, he might be able to. I mean, who's to say? I just think he has.
Because the issue with him is that I think he so heavily relies on his pace, right? Because he has no strength whatsoever, right? I've seen him get absolutely bodied by everyone, right? Completely relies on pace. That's just not gonna cut it. Sorry, Aaron, I cut you off. Go on.
Yeah.
No, see, anyways, I don't think I'll be able to offer a much clearer perspective than both of you guys. I watched him in the beginning of the season, and I heard from you guys that he was impressive in the first half. But to be honest, I think, like you said, first of all, decision making, he's young, so the first season, I mean, you can give it to him. But then again, playing for a big club like United, going from Swansea to United, you can't expect. You can't expect for him to do extremely well in his first season. But then again, I think the last match I saw from him was in that Chelsea United FA Cup semi-final, where Ole played him at striker, right?
Yep.
And I think
it was wide, but up front.
I think, like what you guys said, it's a clear case of he has all the pace in the world, but he just lacks substance. Like you have the pace, but if you can't do anything with it, especially with the people there at United, at least with the options you have in front, coming through with Greenwood and like whoever else you have, I think his best case option is being a bench player. Maybe he gets converted to a wing back because you can survive there with less skill. But then again, on the right side, there's Aaron Wan-Bissaka we'll come to him, but he's been really good for you guys. So I just don't think he can start for you guys.
The only thing I'd say about Dan James is he's still 22. He can grow. Not all players who are 22 are completely physically developed yet in terms of his strength. And I think he can get stronger and he can develop that decision-making ability. But that jump up that he made from the Championship to the Premier League, there's a clear gap in skill level and quality. And I think that, the transfer that fell through, Dan James' transfer last January to Leeds United, I feel that decision might have been even better for him. I think playing under Bielsa's system, which requires extremely intense pressing and playing quick and not taking any breaks to slow down and read the pace of the game, just to keep going. I think that would have been a great place for him to begin his ascent, because he will be playing in the Premier League now because Leeds did get promoted.
Oh yeah. Side note, I am so excited for United Leeds games.
Oh yeah.
I'm very excited.
This is really the first time we're seeing that rivalry, aren't we? And
since being a United fan.
Yep, and I can't wait. United Leeds is obviously a massive rivalry. That's kind of that Yorkshire.
I have a question for both of you.
Yep.
Why do you think he did so well in the beginning and then he had a drastic fall off to the point where he really didn't even feature from the bench itself?
I think the problem at the beginning. Do you mind, Abhiraj?
No, yeah, go.
Okay. So the thing is, at the beginning of the season, the players around him were not playing well. Marcus Rashford hadn't gone into stride. Martial was injured at the beginning of the season. We didn't have Bruno Fernandes yet. Pogba was injured. All these key players were injured. And I mean, listen, you're Manchester United. You do have good, solid players who are going to create a goal from somewhere. And the guy who's closest to the goal might be the one who scores the goal, isn't it? So someone had to score this goal, and it ended up being Dan James. That's one thing. But I also believe that it's a case of like a honeymoon star. Like everything was going so smooth when he was brought in, and it's kind of those growing pains of playing consistently throughout the course of a grueling, tough Premier League season. And I think those demands weighed on him, and that's why he wasn't able to produce at the same level as he was earlier in the season. Plus, if you look at his game earlier in the season, even then his decision making wasn't refined. I'd say his physical ability showed out. He has a good strong shot as well, and he was able to show that. But I think he still has some way to go. Sorry, Abhiraj, go on.
Yeah, see, I agree with Dheeraj completely. And I think another reason was, in the beginning of the season, he was just signed and everything. And he had to prove a point to all of us as well, right? So he probably put in extra effort in the beginning of the season to kind of show to all of us that, I'm supposed to be that's the thing. Even
I belong here,
because of his performance in the beginning of the season, I still believe that he's a United player, that he can do it. I understand Dheeraj's point about how he can possibly be in the starting 11 eventually. I don't think in 3 years. Eventually, maybe, because he's he's only 22, man, and you hit your peak. Your peak is 27, 28. So he says 27.
But for a winger, I'd say it might be a little earlier on, maybe around 25, 26, probably.
And Aaron, is the interesting point you made about right wing back. I haven't really heard anyone talk about that. The only reason why I would never do that is because Dan James got absolutely bullied. That guy has no strength whatsoever. Obviously.
I just think he needs to put on a couple pounds, right? It's obvious he can't keep up with the physicality of the Premier League, right? Because like you guys pointed out, you can get away with a lot of stuff in the Championship, but when it comes to the Premier League, it's big boy league. So it's
and when and now he's
put on a couple of pounds, then he'll be okay.
And see, now he's under the guidance of Bruno and Pogba. And see, obviously, I know we're going to eventually talk about them, but anyone who follows football knows the kind of playmaking abilities they have. And I refuse to believe they're not, in some way taking Dan James under their wing, giving him some sort of tips on playmaking. But that's my overall opinion on Dan James.
Okay, so let's move on to the biggest summer signing of last season, the biggest hole that needed to be filled. That was centre back. Harry Maguire, £80 million. Guys, we all know that he was overpriced, right? I mean, I don't think
it's you know what? No, I don't even think it's overpriced. He's an English player. That's all I have to say. Any English player will cost us that much.
No,
it's frustrating. It's so stupid.
I know. I don't get it either. It's just the way that the English media tends to drive
did you
up
see
the price.
Ben Chilwell went for 50 million to Chelsea. 50 million for Ben Chilwell.
Side note, Ben Chilwell for £50 million. I mean, Harry Maguire for 80 million is bad. But Ben
Yeah.
Chilwell for 50 million
shit.
to me is a joke because I don't see the
Bro,
quality there. I don't see
shit.
it. He's an English
So
player.
shit.
Luke Shaw's
Scored that
definitely
one sick goal. He scored that one sick goal for Leicester, and things so shit.
I mean, Luke Shaw is a better left back than him. If I'm being perfectly honest.
Now, if Chilwell's 50 million, you guys like people might laugh at me for saying this. Shaw's 80 million.
I
Easily,
agree with you.
100%.
I agree with you. Luke Shaw's okay. You know what? We're gonna get to Luke Shaw soon as one of the top players.
Yeah.
About the best players of the season. But Ben Chilwell, okay, Ben Chilwell, that's a joke.
Right, Maguire.
Back to Harry Maguire.
Harry
And by the
Maguire.
way, these players are overpriced, but Leicester City, they're fleecing the big teams for big money, aren't they? I mean, I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah.
Props to them.
Yeah.
And they finished 5th in the league. Fair enough.
Madison
replaced them pretty
has
well. They actually replaced whoever they
Soyuncu is
signed,
solid.
whoever they
Soyuncu's a
signed.
very
They
good
replaced
player.
them pretty well. So
And I think
it's a good philosophy.
and Brendan Rodgers.
If Madison keeps up what he did last season, this coming season, 100% Leicester going to sell him for 100 million because he's an English player as well. Like I already know this.
And plus, he signed a new contract, I think, last year.
Exactly.
So his price is going to be even higher.
Yeah, I mean, he only signed like 2 seasons ago. But anyway, getting back to the point, Harry Maguire, guys. Okay, you know what? I'm going to go to Aaron first. Harry Maguire, what do you think about his season?
I'm going to have an extreme take on him because, okay, fine. I'm going to try and negate the price because it's English, like you said. I just don't like him at all. First of all, the fact that he's your club captain is really sad because I think
we don't get that.
You have a born leader in Bruno. We'll get to that. But then he's your club captain. He's your main centre back, and I really think that first of all he's too slow.
Yeah, he's too slow. I just he has no
okay,
pace.
fine. He can. He has a good aerial threat in corners, and he can probably cover bigger attackers.
Can I just cut in for a second? You say he's a good aerial threat in corner. A good aerial threat on corner should score maybe 5 to 6 goals.
Bro, I was literally thinking, in my head.
He scored one head of the entire season against Chelsea.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find positives for him because then they're around 20.
No, there are some positives. We will get to that.
There are some positives.
We will get to the positives, but I just want to interject and say, as an aerial presence, he's been so disappointing. He's had so many opportunities. He could have easily had 10, 11 Premier League goals this season. He's had so many opportunities. Bruno Fernandes.
The best example of this was not even Crystal Palace, dude. Think about FA Cup against Norwich where we just barely won that game.
Yeah, when he scored
number of headers.
He did score the goal at the end, but he could have had a hat trick that game. For being honest,
Yeah,
easily.
But I mean, I think.
But for me.
Yeah, Aaron, are you done?
Aaron finished.
Yeah, I just think that honestly, like United have at the end of the season they've come out with a lot of positives with their team. I think they have a lot of good individuals. I just think your backline needs a lot of work, in my opinion. You have the players there, but then your centre back partnership. I think Lindelof's young, so he'll definitely get better. I don't think the better player out of both of them. But Maguire.
I don't think we do have the players there, but we'll get to that in a second. I don't think we have the players there. But Aaron, anything else to say on Maguire?
I mean, I'll give it out. I'll leave it for both of you because I just think that
you guys say something.
He's not good. He's not good enough.
He's
not good enough if you want to be a top 2 team in the league.
Oh, yeah,
okay. That's just my opinion.
Abhiraj, why don't you go ahead? I think you have a lot to say on this, don't you?
Okay, see, look, I'm not gonna bash him too much because I have this philosophy where any big signing we make, I give them 2 seasons before I call them a flop or not. All right, so I'm not gonna call Maguire a flop. Do I think he was worth the 80 million? No, but see, I still am happy with this Maguire signing because I still believe he's a good player. As much as he's made his simple, basic mistakes, he's still been a good defender overall for us at most of the times. I think the main issue with Maguire is that, and this is not talked about as much, he's a right-footed centre-back playing at left centre-back.
Exactly.
This is my biggest issue.
Problem. Yep.
Is that we're playing a right-footed centre-back at left centre-back.
And not just a right-footed centre-back, a ball-playing right-footed centre-back.
Exactly. Yeah. And see, United as a team, as much as I'm not a big fan of it, we play from the back. Right, so we play from the back, right? And that's why. See, I believe if Maguire plays right centre back, I think he's not going to be drastically better, but I definitely think performance-wise, he will automatically become better because he's playing on his preferred side. I've seen him, at times I see him when he's playing it out from the back. It's hard for him, dude, because he's cannot use his left foot. I've seen him use his left foot. It's shocking. Like, my left foot's better. Like, man, please, I play centre back. Whenever I play football, I play centre back. Trust me, I have more faith in me making a pass off my left foot than he is. And that's my biggest issue with Maguire. And with relation to him being captain of our team, which Aaron said 100%, he should not be the captain of this team.
Yeah.
Like, it just, see, obviously now, in my opinion, if we made the Bruno Fernandes signing last summer, he would be captain. Because obviously, at that time, I'm also thinking, who would have been our captain? Okay, De Gea maybe, but I wouldn't. I'll
get to De Gea in a second. I think there's a lot to say about him as well.
Yeah. So no. See, overall as a player, I refuse to call Maguire a flop because I always have this policy of a 2-year window. I give each player, a high-paid player, 2 years. I give him another season. If he still continues playing how he's played this season, obviously it'd be very disappointing, and I would consider him a flop then. But I have faith in Maguire. Like, I really, really do have faith in Maguire as a player, and I really, really believe if we play him at right centre back and we get a left-footed centre back at left centre back, honestly, defense-wise, we would be fine. Like, I will talk about other things when we come to that. But yeah, if we're just talking about Maguire, that's how I feel. And when it comes to Ariel, it frustrates me, guys. Like, it's not like he wins it. You know what I mean? From a corner.
Yeah, he wins duels. He just can't put it on target.
The ball gets to his fucking head. Oh, am I allowed to swear?
No.
Go, you already said it.
It's fine.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm mad. But ball comes to his head. The ball comes to his head, guys. It's not like he doesn't get to the ball. He gets the ball, but it doesn't go in. And it frustrates me. Oh my God, dude. It frustrates me so much.
I think the fact that it frustrates you is really clear to see. Advait, you said you had a different take on him.
See, I'm trying to be as objective as possible, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, listen, he has no pace, right? And I really don't think he was worth the 80 million. But I will say this: he's had his defensive lapses, right? We've all seen it. Even that FA Cup final, he's had his defensive lapses. The FA Cup semi-final, but I will say that although he hasn't had a really good individual season, he's helped your team defend better. Like, as a team, you guys defend 100%, much better. There's more discipline. There's more discipline in the back line. I think he's a very good man marker. So you don't see him getting beaten out of set pieces much, right?
Yeah.
And then
maybe one or two times, but not much, definitely.
Yeah.
Southampton.
Okay, listen, Abhiraj, please, let's not talk about it.
And then the other thing is,
go on.
With the addition of Harry Maguire, you guys conceded 18 less goals than last season. So
yeah.
It's not that he's been bad. He's been decent. You should, objectively, you should give him another season to see how he does. Yeah, I think he's been decent. I don't think he's been bad. He's had his lapses, but if he's helped you defend better as a team, then in my opinion, it's not a bad thing.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
I think my argument for that is, okay, fine. You can't compare. If you're fine, there was improvement, but United are a club who won't be back as the best club in England, right? That's your aspiration. That's what you want, and you want to be mentioned alongside Liverpool and City. What do good, experienced defenders do? They make their backline more solid and more better, okay? And they have leadership qualities. Now, I'm going to make a horrendous comparison, but then Abhiraj mentioned that he's a right-footed centre-back playing on the left side, right?
Yeah.
Virgil van Dijk does the same thing, and I'm not comparing their skill. I'm not comparing the skill at all, but he has the leadership to make everyone around him feel better and more assured in what they're doing. There is leadership within him, and first of all,
he has that presence.
See, an 80 million signing cannot be a complete flop because you guys have seen something in him which makes your team better. That's there. I'm just saying, if you want to become better in the future, and if you want to be a side which competes with teams like Liverpool and City, I just think you either need him to play in his preferred right position, which is the right centre back, or you need someone else, because I just feel your defense is one of your weak points.
He gets caught out a lot.
I think the thing about Virgil. Wait, sorry, do you want to say something?
No. My only point is that he could potentially get caught out a lot, right?
He does get
doesn't
caught out
have
a lot.
much pace. Yeah, exactly.
Bergwijn.
Okay.
And that's not something that's going to help you when you compete in the Champions League next year.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, the Champions League is something we have to
Man,
look forward.
don't remind me of that.
It's something we are looking forward to. But okay, quickly on Harry Maguire. Yes, Abhiraj, you want to say something?
No, I just want to say one thing. That was a good point, Adhu, you made about overall Maguire making the team better. And as much as it annoyed me, Aaron was very much right about the Van Dijk comparison. As much as it frustrated me to hear that.
Yeah, but yeah, go ahead.
No, go on.
Okay, so if I were to just quickly sum up Maguire's season, I think the Van Dijk comparison. I mean, fair enough. They were purchased for similar prices, so you expect them to have a similar impact on the team, but clearly that hasn't been the case. And Van Dijk is a much more versatile player. I think I think in terms of a ball playing ability, Maguire might take it a little bit, but I think in terms of defensive versatility, defending players coming from the left and the right, it's really not close. In terms of pace, in terms of physicality, maybe a little, but it's not really close in terms of the defensive capability.
One question, I'm not too sure about this, right? Van Dijk is not much of a playmaker, right?
No, he does. Yeah. He does play it out from the back, but it's different. Like, I mean, but for us,
it's not the same as.
Yeah, for us, it's more of playing out from the back to the midfielders. For them, it's playing out to the fullbacks because they do have where their fullbacks. Liverpool's fullbacks are their best playmaker. Okay, can we please not talk about Liverpool? God.
Yeah.
Okay, so quickly back to Maguire. I think he's had a good season, is what I'd say. He's made some mistakes. If I were to think back, I think Spurs. I think the Chelsea own goal. I expect much more from a player. But I have seen some flashes. I think he was excellent against Crystal Palace after the shutdown ended. I think he was absolutely brilliant that game. And I think one thing to consider, since January, he's been playing with a leg injury.
Even the Chelsea game, right, on debut, he was amazing.
He was good.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't concede.
Okay.
So you could say, I mean, he wasn't convincing, but you did win
4-0. He was good.
One argument I would make for Maguire, though, is that he's played every single minute since lockdown.
Yeah,
I was just about to say.
Just 1 second. Not every single minute since lockdown. He's played every single minute in the Premier League this season. He's played the most minutes of any player in European football, and he's carried an injury.
Yeah, I know.
That's the one thing.
But is that down to the fact that you have no one else? Is my question.
Yeah,
it could.
Yes.
It was not really an argument for him being good. Also, I mean, it can be looked at from both perspectives.
But the upside to him is that, like, I mean, in sports, obviously, I mean, I've always said that I believe in availability being your best ability, and he's so durable. He's so durable. Because he's played every single game, and it's not like he's gone into.
I agree with that.
Yeah, so and that's one upside. But then he has a lot of
like for one issue, and again, Abhiraj knows how much I admire this player, Eric Bailly. What a player! You know, he has the skill, but he's always injured. Something or the other, bro. I don't know how he's always injured.
I mean,
it frustrates me.
Abhiraj and I fall on opposite sides of the Eric Bailly spectrum, but coming back, we've had a lot of arguments about this, but that's what we have. We're here to have those arguments in front of you. God, it's been like 20 minutes and we're barely getting started. This is going to be a long podcast, guys. Buckle in and just put it on while you're, I don't know.
Get some popcorn,
in your car, get some popcorn. Just get ready, and make sure you charge your phones while you're doing this because your phone will run out of battery.
Oh, God.
Whatever, like while you're driving. While you're driving.
Bro, you can do whatever, bro.
Listen to it. Don't know.
Yeah, we're all getting licensed.
Do not watch it.
We got Abhiraj. Yeah? Now the views will go up like crazy. 200 views.
Please do not listen. Watch it while you're driving. Listen to it while you're driving. Whenever you're free. But just quickly to finish off on Harry Maguire, 80 million was too much for him. He's had a good season here. He's had some outstanding games. I think back to the game against Chelsea in February, where he scored a goal, but he also played excellent defense that game. The game against Crystal Palace after the lockdown, where it looked like they were going to win the game and take the game away, where it looked like they were going to come and snatch the game from our grasp. I thought Maguire was superb that game, and he's shown flashes of the player that we bought, but it is clear to me that he needs to be as Abhiraj said, Abhiraj was right. He needs to change his position to right centre back, and hopefully recovers from the injury he picked up at Jan. He's been playing through the season with an injury.
There's respect, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, his durability is something we command most minutes in European football, but not worth £80 million. But I hope that Harry Maguire does have a much better season. In terms of club captain, he shouldn't be captain. I think it's very clear to all of us that Bruno Fernandes is he's a born leader, competitor. Okay, you know what? We're going to wax.
We'll get to that. Yeah, we'll get to that.
But
we'll get to that.
Armband should go from Maguire to Bruno. I hope it happens. Let's see. Okay, and the third signing, we're still on the summer signings. My God, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Okay, if I was to start, Aaron Wan-Bissaka has been simply superb. Aaron Wan-Bissaka,
amazing,
the best defensive right back in the world, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
I haven't seen anyone with his, with his firstly tackling capabilities as a right back. It's unheard of that you see such an elite slide tackler. Such an elite ball winner, and he's just insane in my opinion. Maybe his positioning isn't the most refined and attacking in terms of attacking prowess. He has some ways to go, especially when he's being.
But his attacking prowess is improving. I think slowly. I think game by game, it looked like. I mean, from my eyes, it looked like he was improving.
I hope so.
I think a couple of seasons.
There was some development. I did see a few assists towards the end of the season, and that's important for right back. But again, I put Wan-Bissaka on the same pedestal overall as a player like Ricardo Pereira or Trent Alexander-Arnold in terms of overall capability, but that's purely based on his defensive ability. If he is able to hone his attacking capability, I think he will be the best right back.
That'll come. Best
right back in the world.
Amazing.
Best right back in the world without question, and I think he's been
too strong, too quick, and he has this knack of winning. Like you said, he has the knack of winning possession and keeping it.
Yeah, I mean. In terms of keeping possession, it's a bit dodgy, but I think that's something he can work on.
But in the back line, he can keep it.
Okay, yeah. Abhiraj, I'll go to you.
Player of the season.
Okay.
Really?
Manchester player of the season.
I don't think so, but yeah, okay, fair enough.
I mean, fair enough.
Player of the season.
Is that because he's win that throughout the season, or you just think he is?
Consistently, I have complete faith in him. Been consistently played well for us. I just like Advaita said.
Individually, he's been your best defender. I'll say that.
Oh, by far.
Individually,
by far.
And it's not even close.
For me, and I really believe this. Again, a hot take. The impact he's had on our team is the same as Bruno's impact on our team, in my opinion. And we give. See, for me, people think Maguire is the leader of the defense. No way. It's I feel like Wan-Bissaka is overall. Yeah, and the point which Adu made about his attacking abilities, that's 100% true, because I remember seeing this the other day. Before lockdown, I think Wan-Bissaka made a total of, I think he got one assist, I think 1 or 2 assists max, and ever since lockdown had got lifted, in the first 2 games after lockdown, he got 3. The first 4 games he got 3 assists. So that automatically tells you that he is improving his attacking capabilities. Now, obviously, we're giving him a lot of praise, but I do have to be a bit critical of him. He did not play well towards the end, in my opinion.
But I think that does have something to do with him being tired, because he's played throughout the season, hasn't he?
100%. Again, yeah, of course. But I still need to be critical, right? He didn't play well, irrespective. And obviously, I'm not too concerned about his performances towards the end. But definitely he's played well, irrespective of how he performed towards the latter stage. Like I would say the last 4 or 5 games we played, I haven't been too happy with him. I would still say overall 100% player of the year.
Defensively, he's been amazing.
Okay,
I have a question for both of you.
Yep.
Before I actually go on to my opinion, with the way you guys play, how instrumental are your wing backs in terms of creating chances and everything like that?
Not too critical. I mean, they're not flying fullbacks now, are they? Luke Shaw, I mean, he's a decent attacker. Wan-Bissaka,
I kind of disagree with that.
Lower level. But I don't think in the system we got Abhiraj, just a minute. I think that the current, I think the way we play currently, maybe Ole has adjusted it because of the lack of extreme attacking prowess of the fullbacks. But I don't see the fullbacks being a major player in terms of going forward. But I think that if these players if Wan-Bissaka was to improve, I think they would be more impactful. Abhiraj, you don't agree?
I
Luke
agree
Shaw.
that for Wan-Bissaka, for Luke Shaw, no. Luke Shaw is 100% part of the attack. Like,
Oh no, I agree.
Luke Shaw and Rashford go hand in hand. They complement one another. That's why if
I
you
think
see with
that's one thing you have to say about
Luke
Rashford.
Shaw,
Rashford with Shaw behind him is so much better than Rashford
so
with
much
Brandon
better
Williams behind
with
him.
Brandon Williams. That's what I'm saying. So to answer that question, Aaron, the way how United plays, even Ole knows that with the ball, I don't think Wan-Bissaka is the best dribbling wise. He really does need to improve on that. But Shaw is good on the ball, and that's why Shaw is so instrumental in our attack as well. Despite to the left hand side, like that's the thing we're gonna definitely come to Shaw later, so I'm not gonna talk too much about it. But yeah, to answer your question, yes, I think Luke Shaw definitely is very instrumental to the attack. Maybe not as Wan-Bissaka definitely, especially after lockdown. I could see he's getting involved a lot more in putting in crosses into the box. But yeah, more for Shaw than Wan-Bissaka.
Yep, I think fair enough. Aaron, what do you think about Wan-Bissaka's season?
I mean, Sol, I think he's been your best defender easily. I have nothing bad to say about him, honestly. All I'll say is I think, in my opinion, he's the third best right back in the league. I think Trent is the best because I honestly think he's too good for his position. I just think he's generational
I
in
think
terms
he's.
of what he does.
I think Trent. One second.
So
I think
who's
Trent is.
second?
I think Ricardo Pereira. Am I wrong?
Second's Ricardo because I think he's more complete as a right back.
I would agree. I would.
I
agree.
think
Yeah.
I think right backs are going to a stage where they have to be more complete rather than focusing on one end, right?
Yeah.
I think Trent's too good offensively as a right back to not be first, and I think Ricardo is just more complete.
Yeah,
That's my argument.
the one thing I would say about Trent is that I think in any system other than Klopp's, he'd be a midfield player. But because in Klopp's system,
Yeah.
you have the
Yeah,
midfielders
fine.
dropping back into those
Yeah,
fullback
dude.
positions
Sometimes
on the
I
counter
see him
attack.
play. I see.
On the counter attack, you see these the midfielders like Henderson and Milner and Fabinho like falling back into the fullback positions. Maybe not Fabinho as much, but definitely Henderson and Milner players like that. And the wingbacks just surging forward. I mean, Robertson and Trent are probably the best attacking fullbacks we see pair we've ever seen, at least. One of the best ever, I would say, because of the production over the last couple of seasons. I mean, Trent came second in the league in assists this year. As a fullback. I mean, that's crazy. But I personally think in any other system, if he ever plays outside of Klopp's system, he should play as a midfielder. Sorry for getting sidetracked. I just had to say that. Aaron, your thoughts on Wan-Bissaka? Yeah, please go on.
That's it. I mean, I have one question for all three of you. Again, I don't follow England as much as you guys do, but like you said, it's not Klopp's system within England system, obviously. But England, you're 2021. Do you think Trent should play in midfield and Wan-Bissaka should play at right back?
Yes.
Because they're both good enough to play within the starting 11.
Most definitely, 100%.
That's probably the best option.
See, I'm an England fan. I want England to win. And for that, I think that playing Wan-Bissaka at right back and playing Trent in a midfield position would benefit them. I don't think it'll happen. I think Trent will end up playing.
Definitely not.
Yeah, but
I think they'll just.
I don't think Southgate will make that drastic change, but I think it would benefit the team more. So I mean,
see, I'm a Belgium fan, so I more want to make a comment on this, but no, I think they should do it, but they wouldn't do it. And if anything, I'm happy they're not going to do that.
Yeah. And one more thing at the Euros, please do not pick Ben Chilwell ahead of Luke Shaw. I hope Gareth Southgate, you're probably never going to watch this, but if you do, for God's sake, please play Luke Shaw over Ben Chilwell. Please, I'm begging you. We need to win.
I think Luke Shaw will be considered one of the elite left backs if he just has one season where he's not injured. One season.
Too injury prone, man.
One season where he's not injured for a majority of the season. I mean, he's not injured for more than a month. I think people will start recognizing him as a good talent, as a great talent, like elite. He just gets injured too often, so you can't make anything of it.
I agree completely. Okay, now we're done with the summer signing, so let's just have a quick look at our season, because this has been a season of
season before the lockdown, or just season after the lockdown?
It's September to Jan and Feb to July, Feb to August. This has
September to Jan. Do you really want to talk about it?
I think we have to. I think September to Jan.
We have to. That's what makes it. That's what makes the season so great.
But
that's what makes football so entertaining. I mean, September to Jan was simply. I mean, we got some good results. We got a draw against Liverpool. I feel we should have got a win there. We played really well against Liverpool. We could have won that game. For a long time, we were the only team to take points of Liverpool. But I think we could have. We did play well.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, what?
That.
Abhiraj, you just muted yourself twice.
Oh, what? Oh God, can you hear?
You muted yourself.
Now we can hear you.
Oh, I'm so sorry. But like, can you imagine that being like that's the only thing I could brag about being a United fan. We took points off Liverpool.
Yeah, I know. The first half.
It was okay. We beat Liverpool.
Okay, cool. You also finished 8th in the league. Although you did win the FA Cup. Respect to Arsenal. As again, I say, I like Arsenal. Fair enough. But I think September to Jan was simply horrendous. This is the one thing I can't understand. From September to Jan, we did not lose a single game against teams in the top 6. We didn't lose to Manchester City. We didn't lose to Wolves. We didn't lose to Liverpool. We beat Man City. We beat, we drew to Arsenal. We beat Spurs. We didn't lose a single game. But the kind of points we dropped were just
insane,
unbelievable. I mean, I remember the worst loss, and
I know my worst loss.
Abhiraj, was it Burnley 2-0? Was it Burnley 2-0? Yeah, Burnley 2-0. Oh my God, this game was the most heartbreaking game.
I think that was the game where like I reached my lowest point.
And they always say that was rock bottom because that was the worst game, but also because that was the last game we played in the Premier League. Also, you know what? I hold the suspense. Okay, September to Jan, just a little bit more. I thought the way we dropped points, a team like Crystal Palace conceding a last-minute goal. Sheffield United, we were 2-0 down and scored 3 goals in the space of 6 minutes in like between the 75th and 85th minute. And then we conceded in added time. And the way we dropped points in these games was just infuriating. Like I was so angry. I can't even begin to describe it. And it's against all the small teams. We didn't lose to the big teams. We dominated the big teams. Our play style was perfect. We could not break down other teams' defenses. We were susceptible to the counter. Susceptible to the counter. Obviously, Paul Pogba being injured was a big reason why there was a complete lack of creativity against the small teams who sat back against us. You know,
you were 14th, right? After your first 10 games.
No. We were
14th.
I think we had 14 points.
Spurs were 14.
Spurs were 14. But I think it was our worst start ever in the Premier League season. And while everyone was screaming Ole out, I mean, personally, I believe that it was just a clear lack of talent of the team and a clear lack
after we finished third, I wanted to go back and delete some tweets, that I made earlier in this season.
Look, we've got a fake fan.
Okay, but we all have, not we all,
fake
but everyone has embarrassing tweets.
Okay, fair enough. But see, personally, I'll always back any manager we have. I back Mourinho to the end. I backed Moyes to the end. If I can back Moyes to the end, I can back anyone. I backed Van Gaal to the end, and I will always.
Moyes was unlucky.
I agree. I mean, just quick side step to talk about David Moyes. I think David Moyes deserved more time. He deserved more money.
Are you going to make that comparison about the points tally we made?
No, I'm not, because getting 60. Okay, we might. Okay, I mean. We might have got 66 points last season and got 66 points this season, but no one looks at the number of points we've got when what they look at is what's on the left-hand column. Serial number 1, 2, 3. That's what matters. It doesn't. 66 doesn't matter. 3 matters.
Yeah. I was just gonna say you had the same points as last season and you finished 6th.
I mean, do I care?
I know. In terms of points, it was like mediocre. But the fact that you guys came from what you guys were September to Jan to finish 3rd was a commendable effort. Dude.
And I think just 1 second, we need to talk about that Burnley game because while that was the worst game of the season, it was the turning point. The Burnley game was the worst game. It's the worst I felt as a United fan. I felt helpless. We didn't create. We were that game was at Old Trafford, wasn't it? The game was at home. We dominated that game. Sorry?
We dominated that game.
Exactly. We dominated that game, but we played right into Burnley's hands. They sat back. They used the classic English team on their Burnley, big physical players, best goalkeeper in the Premier League, in my opinion, in Nick Pope. And just this team that's so compact and that has this excellent defense. And we played right into their hands. No creativity, lack of innovation, and defensively we were susceptible to the counter-attack and to being and to set plays. And that was a low point. But let's come to the summer signings now, because guys, that was the last game we played in the Premier League. And that was the last game we lost in the Premier League, because right after that, Bruno Fernandes was signed. Bruno Fernandes, our Lord and Savior, my player of the season, 100%. I get people who say he didn't play the entire season, but to me, without Bruno Fernandes, I don't know where we'd be. I have no clue. Bruno Fernandes has not lost a game in the Premier League.
You guys are undefeated with Bruno Fernandes playing in the Premier League.
And I mean, okay, and people say, oh, he's just he's a glorified penalty taker. I tell the people who say that, watch the game, and you'll understand the impact he has creatively. That's the one under Abhiraj. I'm sorry, but just one second. I'm really passionate about this. Going back defensively, Bruno Fernandes is the most tenacious, hard-working player you'll see, as a creative genius playing at number 10. Obviously, he's no Kevin De Bruyne yet, but he has been more impactful than Kevin De Bruyne has been to Man City since he's joined Man United. And I do not think this is a debate. He's been the most impactful player of the season, the best player of the season. 9 goals in the Premier League since January. And okay, there were penalties. But do you know the struggles we had with penalties in the last few years? Pogba couldn't make penalties. Rashford missed penalties. We couldn't score a penalty to save our lives. And you might say, oh, Manchester United. But we kept missing those penalties. We needed someone to score the penalties. And Bruno Fernandes. I don't care. Keep quiet. This is my rant. Shut up. Okay?
What is it?
Scored the penalties. Scored the free kicks. Did everything. Creatively our best player. Defensively going back, excellent. Leader. My captain, my armband, I want him at our club for the next 6 years. He should have a statue built outside the club for him right now. And right after next year, when we win the Champions League, he's going to do it. I got a bit carried away, but Bruno Fernandes was just amazing.
Let me just say one thing.
The Champions League anytime soon.
Let me just say one thing, to anyone who says, Bruno Fernandes only scores penalties, United only
who said that?
So many people, Advaita, stay. Okay.
Let me finish.
Oh my God.
What people fail to understand is, to get a penalty, you have to be in the penalty box. You have to be in the box. So what does that say about our team? Is that we're making attacks,
we're getting chances.
We're going for goal, right? And Bruno Fernandes has been insane for this team. Like Dheeraj said, he's basically covered everything for me. Like, I don't need to say anything. He's everywhere on the pitch. He has overall, the impact he's had in this team, everyone, Martial has become a new man.
Yeah.
And I put
Rashford.
Yeah. Rashford.
I think Rashford was excellent from a big.
No, but dude, both of them have not scored above 13 goals ever, and then they just magically.
But I think that the thing about I think although we will get Rashford later, the majority of Rashford's season was before Bruno signed, and he excelled in that part of the season. He carried our team in that part of the season, and he was
really good
alone.
Even after.
All alone. That's the only problem.
I just want to make one thing, because I was just checking something, right? So that game which we lost 2-0 to Burnley, right?
Uh-huh.
This was our midfield, and I just Matic, Fred, Mata, Andres Pereira, James Martial.
Jeez.
Okay, so can you imagine? We had Mata. Yeah, no disrespect to him.
Mata has been a great player one of my favorite players for a club, but obviously past his prime.
Europa League. Okay, let's just cut this. Yeah, Bruno Fernandes. And when you see him play, yes, okay, he does make the.
He's a creative genius.
Boss. I agree. Sometimes, look, as much as I love my players, I criticize them when I think they need to be criticized. Yes, Bruno Fernandes might make that unnecessary pass at times. He might overcomplicate things. But overall, he's been superb for us. He can take free kicks. He can take penalties. He can take corners. He can clearly take corners. Just that Maguire needs to finish them. Maguire just needs to finish his corners. I remember there was this one game. I don't know which game it was, right? We were winning, right? The other team went on a counter-attack. And I see Bruno fucking... Sorry.
It's okay. You know what? It's fine. We'll pass it now.
No, Abhiraj, it's you, bro. It's fine.
I saw Bruno. I'm sorry. When it comes to United, I'm just so like this thing.
Again, it's fine.
I saw Bruno Fernandes running back like a madman. This guy plays every game. Like obviously, it's literally every game. But the amount of effort he puts into this team, it's so much respect I have him as a player. The fact that we almost lost him to Spurs, oh my God, it literally scares me.
The only problem I have with Bruno Fernandes is, wait, I just have two more things to say. Number one, why didn't you sign him at the beginning of the season? We would have probably finished above City if we signed him at the beginning of the season.
It would have been close. I don't know if you would have finished above City.
I personally think we would have. I had that much belief in him. Okay.
I'm expecting to come in now and shut Dheeraj.
No. You guys won't beat City. You still be third, but it would have been close.
Okay, fine, fair enough. And the second thing, I mean, his pass completion rate isn't great. It's like 72% or something like that, which isn't great, especially for a number 10. But for so long, we had players who were unwilling to make that final pass, And if it's a player I'm so happy to see a player, a Manchester United number 10. Finally, we've seen players, great pass, Paul Scholes. We've seen passes like this, Paul Scholes. Even Wayne Rooney, when he used to sit back a little bit and spray the ball out. Michael Carrick. Players, David Beckham, players who wouldn't be scared to play the ball into the box just because they would lose the ball. And I think that because Bruno Fernandes has that capability and that tenacity to run back on defense, he isn't scared of playing that long ball, of playing that final third pass that might be intercepted, but that might also lead to a goal. And that's what we've been lacking for so long. And I think that he's just come in and changed the culture of the club. He's made us a winning team. He's made us a team that he's made. Oftentimes in the beginning, over the past few years, I've seen a team with a lot of egos, with players that weren't willing to give their all for the team. With players that would, kind of, even after loss, that kind of be like, oh, let's move on. But Bruno Fernandes has come in and made this team a team that does not like to, not even just does not like, that hates to lose, a team that will not put up with anything below 110% and just a leader. And I think I just can't speak highly enough of him. And I hope, for God's sake, this wasn't a flash in the pan, and he would keep continuing to play.
No, I don't think it is. See, because this is my comparison, right? Bruno Fernandes in a Manchester United jersey is somewhat similar to what, this is like a basketball analogy, but what Chris Paul is doing with the Thunder right now is what Bruno Fernandes is doing with Manchester United.
Yeah. It's good.
And the reason they're so successful is because this one guy is able to uplift every single player around him and make them stars, right? One. And two, I don't know if a lot of people won't give him credit, but I really credit your manager. I don't want to say his name because
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I'll say that every time he wants.
But he created a perfect environment for Bruno to come and make one hell of an impact. And when he came, the system fit him perfectly. Like, he came and then there was no change to the system. You didn't have to do anything. You didn't have to play a few players out of position. No, everything was perfect, and Bruno fit the role perfectly. And then he just took it.
One fun fact, right? I think another reason why Bruno was able to fit in so well was even when he was with Sporting Lisbon was not a good team at all. So Bruno kind of knows, how to uplift a bad team.
Yeah.
Always been in somewhat of an environment like that. Now, obviously, we aren't of the same level as Sporting Lisbon, but Bruno knows exactly what to do. That's what I'm saying. Like, the fact that before Bruno Fernandes came in, we were 14 points from top 4. 14.
15, not even 14.
14. It was 14, right?
That's why he's the best. He's been the best player of the season, even though he's played very little.
I would give Bruno best player of the season, but he wasn't there for the entire season, right? So that's why
I think that's a fair argument. I think we talk about players in the season later, but obviously we have to cover it here too. So, Aaron, any quick thoughts?
I mean, you covered everything. I have just 3 very small things to say. They might be irrelevant. Whenever I see Bruno Fernandes, he reminds me of when I play in FIFA. Mm-hmm. I just do fake shots from like 50 yards out normally. That's the only skill I know. Whenever I see him with the ball, he looks like he's actually going to shoot. But then, second point is I think he's the reason why Pogba might resign.
I was just going to say
resign.
That. Yep.
I think that's one of the biggest positives for you guys. Yep. Mm-hmm. And I think
very true.
My biggest factor is I think he's finally a signing who understands what United means and what you guys stand for. He's one of the signings you've made that he understands what the club used to represent and what they still represent.
What they should
And
represent,
he's a
isn't it?
leader and he's a leader who automatically has uplifted everyone around him and made your squad better. So yeah, I mean, nothing bad for me to say. Although I wish there was.
We can speak for ages and ages and ages about Bruno Fernandes.
But dude, honestly, he's been amazing for you.
Elite player, and I see him being, hopefully, the Virgil van Dijk. What Virgil van Dijk that signing meant to Liverpool. I hope he has the same impact over a long period of time to us, and I do see that happening. Hopefully, and now
props to Ola, bro, for this.
Yeah, fair enough, and I think he did integrate him very well into the team. We'll talk about Ole in a second. Also, just quick notes. I mean, Rashford was injured. Even Marcel was injured for a little bit. We signed Audi Nagalo on loan. I think even though he didn't play much, I think he was an excellent player. I think he scored a couple of key goals. He scored against Norwich, if I'm not wrong. And he scored in the Europa League. He scored that banger in the Europa League, if you remember the first leg in last week. Like, what a goal. And I think that should be in contention for goal of the season, definitely. I mean, the volley from outside of the box, brilliant goal. And I think he's a player who played for the badge, who tracked back, who was very tenacious. And even if we, I hope he doesn't have to go, but even if he does, I just want to say thank you, Audien. You've been great for us. You got to live your dream of playing for Manchester United, and we were so happy to have you at Old Trafford.
Guys.
You've been fantastic.
But with that being said, exactly. Like you said, he's 31. So,
guys,
Abhiraj,
I don't think he's the future United.
Fabrizio Romano just tweeted, Gabriel to Arsenal confirmed. Bro, I can't, bro.
Was there a here we go on it?
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah. he was thinking about. I thought Napoli was gonna get him because they offered him more, right, towards the end.
You know what? I'm fine with that. I think even Gabriel has similar physical attributes to that of.
Okay. You have 80 million signing, yeah.
I think even though he's left for a defender, he does have attributes similar to that of Harry Maguire. He's a bit on the slower side, but I think for Arsenal, brilliant signing. Him and Saliba will be great at the back, and there's something brewing at the Emirates, I must say. And okay, so now we've talked about the signing. So let's quickly recap months Feb to August. Undefeated in the Premier League. Obviously, we lost to Arsenal right before the run started. That was a bit sad. We lost 3-1 to Liverpool. Sorry, we lost 3-1 or was it 2-0? I can't remember. I think it was 2-0 to Liverpool. It was 2-0 to Liverpool. We have a couple of bad losses, but since then, I mean, we've been excellent. We've beaten Chelsea. We've beaten Man City. I think the Man City was probably the best win of the season, in my opinion. Especially with the kind of the last minute Scott McTominay scoring from the 40-yard line, from 40 yards, and the celebrations, it was just amazing. And a lot of key wins. I mean, Leicester on the last day of the season, where I was so happy to see Jesse Lingard score. By the way, if he does leave the club, he's been going through a bit of a tough time. Yes, for sure, he's been going through a bit of a tough time. I mean, I don't know whether he should leave or stay because he has shown his quality, but he's too inconsistent for me.
Oh, what's so frustrating about him?
I know.
Literally scored 2 games back to back after that. Like, you don't know, but it really depends. It depends.
Never tell with him, but even if he does leave the club, he's been a very good player for the club. Joseph
will never be forgotten.
Never be forgotten. And that Millie rocking at the Emirates, Aaron Abdul, you guys remember that? These memories.
I don't. I actually don't.
Okay, see, he's just salty.
I know what you're talking about.
He's just salty. But I mean, just thank you. I mean,
no, we had a good end to the season. That's exactly how we got the 14 points. Obviously, there were a few games that I was frustrated with, especially the West Ham game and the Southampton game. I wasn't too happy about those 2 games. But in general, I would say it was a good way to end the season. Kind of showed me Mason Greenwood, especially. I feel like he, during this period, really surprised me. I'm sure we'll talk about it more.
Yeah, and so that's a quick recap for the season, and that's been done. Let's talk about a manager. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came in last 2018 December, 2019 Jan, sometime around that, right after loss to Liverpool when Jose was sacked. And we went on a run for 2 months. We were unbeaten, and we won that legendary game in Paris, where we came back and won 3-1. Probably one of the best nights of me.
Bro, I cried. I cried.
It's
I'm
insane. It's
serious.
insane. Remember that man scoring the penalty?
I cried. So
Yeah,
serious. I cried, man.
but after that, obviously, we didn't play well. We'd had a bad end to the season, finishing outside the top four. And then coming into the season, there were quite a few. Looking back, I'd say it was false hope that we would have, that we would finish in the top four, because our squad clearly wasn't good enough at the beginning of the season to finish top four, and the
Still
players.
isn't, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it still isn't. I mean, with Chelsea bringing in a few really good players and Arsenal going through a very quick rebuild with an excellent manager, we need to improve. We'll talk about the improvements that we need to make soon. But I think that Ole has he's done the most he can with this group of players. Although there was a lot of doubt in his methods, especially at the beginning of the season. He's not a tactical mastermind. Now, come on, he's more of a man manager. He's a player. He has the ability to kind of like coax the best out of a player. But I think the one credit.
But then there were some games where he actually showed his tactical acumen.
But that's
like game against Liverpool.
Yeah, exactly.
He was brilliant.
That was something.
I think for Ole, it's also.
One second, Abhiraj. Yeah, just that game against Liverpool. Just think about it, that's the one game where he kind of showed that he, although it might be old, he has that capability. I think thank you for Raju for pointing that out. He has the capability to, outthink other great managers. And no one's going to call Ole the best manager in the world. Many of our fans want him out, but I think Abhiraj and I want him to stay, want him to build. He's a club legend. He's ingrained in the history of our club. Always will be, forever.
What he did.
Forever.
What he's done. No, go on.
Just an absolute
I'm
legend.
saying with what he's done, it's unfair to sack him now, dude. To bring you guys into
even if he didn't get us, even if he didn't, I'm so confident. Even if he didn't get us Champions League football, he'd still be manager.
Yeah. I don't think people who are Ole out. I think for them, they don't understand what this man is.
They're just saying Ole out because they want Poch in. That's it.
Yeah,
Poch wasn't out there.
Although Poch is a great man. Oh, sorry, Abhiraj. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, so for me, I don't think Ole is a mastermind. I think it really works off our assistant managers as well.
Mm-hmm.
And like Dheeraj said, he does get the best out of all the players. But at the end of the day, he deserves all the credit he's getting. He got the club back in Champions League, 19-match unbeaten run towards the end of the campaign. Mm-hmm. You have to give him props for it. And for me, one of the reasons why I want Ole to be managers as well is because Greenwood under Ole, oh man, I'm very excited for that.
One more thing I'd like to. Advaita, can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
When you talk about the forwards, and Man United have scored more than 100 goals this season for the first time, I think, since Sir Alex left, if I'm not wrong. And the one player whose improvement I will attribute completely to Ole is Martial. Martial has become a top 5 striker in the Premier League in my opinion. He's been just excellent all-round player. I mean, hold-up play.
He's becoming a true number 9.
Yep, true number 9. Finishing in front of goal. His trickery, which we've always seen, and I think the decision to sell Lukaku at the beginning of the season has been truly vindicated. But what he's turned our forwards into, Rashford, Martial, Greenwood, are going to be, especially Martial and Greenwood. I want Rashford to stay, but many people don't, which I don't understand. I mean, why would you want a different number 9? You have a 25-year-old who's not even at the top of his game yet. He's going to get there. He's going to be an elite forward, 25 goals a season, is what I believe. But especially Martial and Greenwood, who are going to be part of the future for years to come. Rashford and Greenwood. I think that the improvement of these players and the fact that he's blooded these players and thrown players like Mason Greenwood, even Brandon Williams, although he was bad towards the end of the season, he was excellent before lockdown.
Don't mention that guy's name, man.
Yeah, but he was excellent before lockdown. You can't dispute that. He was pretty poor after lockdown, but before lockdown, he was excellent.
In my opinion, Ole is still learning on the job. He's still learning on the job. He still has a long way to go to becoming a good manager. Do I want him to stay? Yes, I would give him another season.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how he does.
Minimum.
At least one more season for sure. Yeah. But if he doesn't perform as well as what he did this season,
He might be in the
If
hot
it's anything
seat.
less than, if it's anything less than what he's done this season, there's a good chance he'll get sacked because Poch is still out there. And at the end of the day, I respect Poch as a manager.
Yeah.
So he's a good manager.
So do I, but I think Ole is the man. See, the one thing I'd say about us is that finally it looks like Man United have a plan, you know. For so long, we just tried, like, when it comes to Jose Mourinho, he's a manager I respect so much.
But
he kind of goes for a short term. He always like 3-4 seasons leaves. He's not the kind of manager to build a team up for a long period of time. He brought in players like Pogba.
Best example of that is when he brought Matic. As much as Matic is good, he was old.
I mean, But I will say one thing. Yeah, he has the guts to back his youth and tell the people that are aging that, you know, it's time for you to leave the club, or he won't play them, and he backs his youth and he makes a decision. He sticks by it, and that's paid dividends in the form of Mason Greenwood. I think, you know, I think he's the only one after Wayne Rooney to score like 9 goals or something like that, right?
Yeah, in the
Premier League as a youngster. So that's, I mean, insane. And then even if he doesn't play the old players much, I think what he's figured out, his arrangement with, I mean, obviously he had a rift with Matic in the beginning, right? But then when he's figured out a way to play Matic, I think Matic has become one of the most important players on that lineup.
After the lockdown, Matic has been the most important player in our team.
And he's figured out how to bring in Matic.
Exactly, because there's such a distinct difference when Matic is on the field and when Matic is off the field.
I can go on for like I can just have one separate podcast with just Matic's contribution.
Yeah, and also like a player like McTominay is a player I love, but he clearly doesn't have the tactical.
McTominay is not a CDM. I cannot.
I agree. I think playing him in that holding role will prove to be futile. Because he's so good going forward, and he is a decent tackler, but he's not a good in terms of positioning. He lacks kind of intelligence, I would say. But and don't forget, we have the youngest squad in the Premier League. Like average age like 23 or 24, something like that. Youngest squad in the Premier League. So it's going to take time, and I think finishing third this season, after the start we had and the lack of talent he had, was a big achievement. Aaron, what do you say? Ron feeling left out, huh? Just sitting there.
No, I'm just thinking because I feel like all of you guys are so positive, right? But the thing is, see, I'm going to mention some.
I'm not trying to shit on.
No, I think you're also extremely positive because
okay. We need
he's a good manager. He's likable. He's a United man. The fans like him, which is big. But in my opinion, I think he's the perfect transition manager for you guys. He's not the man for you.
Perfect what?
Transition manager. Unless you're willing to give him a lot of more time.
100%. I don't think he's here.
A lot of people say that, but I wouldn't agree. I'd say that. I mean, the only previous experience, obviously, at a club like Cardiff, you expect him to get relegated. I don't think you can really judge that kind of thing because his team was completely lackluster and didn't belong in the Premier League. But if you look back to a team like the team he managed in Norway, Molde had never won the Norwegian league in 100 years of existence. When he came, he transformed that team similar to what he's doing at United, brought in a lot of young players, and with his man management style, he won 2 consecutive titles. So he's shown, although, I mean, albeit in a inferior league, I think that he deserves a chance. I think that he deserves a chance to take this team to glory. And I think it's completely unfair if you were to say we finished. I think sacking him, if we finish in the top 4 next year with I'd say a lesser gap from Liverpool and Man City, even if we finish 4th, but we have a 10-point difference rather than a 30-point difference from Liverpool, I think that's completely fine. You know, I think that's what we should do for next season. And I don't think he should go. I think he deserves a chance to stay.
See, I'm not saying sack him because I really admire him for the work he's done for your club, because I think he's one of those managers who's done an extremely good job, at least for you guys, in identifying deadwood within your squad, and he's realized who's not needed and who's vital for your squad. He's improved the players you already have, and he's a perfect man manager because he's made everyone feel a part of his system at least. But from a rival fan perspective, I don't think clubs fear him or scared of him as opposed to people like Klopp and Pep. And I just don't think that there will come a point
but Aaron,
where
you can't
he's
compare
feared the
Ole
same way.
to
No,
Klopp and Pep.
I know I'm not, but I'm just saying.
I think
you
what
guys
he's trying
want to
to
be the best. You
I
guys
think what
want to
he's
be the
trying
best, right? I don't think that's possible under Ole. I think he's done an extremely good job.
Do you think Arsenal can become the best under Arteta?
I do. I mean, I do.
Or do you
I think
think
we're further.
Arteta is the
I
promising
think we're
manager?
further behind than you are. We're at a stage where we don't have the players we require. You guys have such good players. Your front six, at least, I mean, your front four and the midfielders you have. Okay, front five, because I think Martic is quite old right now.
Yeah.
Your front five is insane.
I agree.
That front five could do well for so many clubs in the world. They're young also. So, like, I think he's done an extremely good job in getting the best out of all his players. And first of all, you have insane players as well. I just think from rivals fan perspective and from like a neutral perspective, I don't think he will get to a point where you guys are feared tactically. Again, I'm saying all this because I'm treating you guys to be of the same level as Liverpool and City. On a normal standpoint, you guys are doing extremely well, and you can easily come third next year. I'm just saying I do not see you guys coming second or challenging for first under him. I think you have the players for that.
I agree with that.
But I don't think he's the manager who will ever get you guys there.
Okay, I think it's too early to judge, but only time will tell with Ole. I think that with a young,
this season's very important. This season's crucial for Ole.
It is very important, and so now the last part of reviewing the season. Oh my God, this has taken an hour and 30 minutes. That's unbelievable. We have so much to talk about. But it's okay. Like, you guys don't have. I mean, we'd love it if you listen to the whole thing. But even if you don't, it's okay. Just listen to bits and pieces here and there. I mean, whatever you can do to support us. But just the local business that needs your help. Okay, so guys, I want your 3 best players of the season and your 3 biggest disappointments for Man United. Abhiraj, to start with you, our guest, host.
3 best players for me would be Martial, Bruno, and Wan Bissaka.
Yeah.
Go with those 3.
Your season, Wan Bissaka, for you?
Yeah, 100%. 3 flops. De Gea, obviously.
Oh yeah. Oh God.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have another rant about De Gea. That's coming.
I don't know who my flop is gonna be.
De Gea, I would go. I'd say Fred. Not been happy with him.
Ooh, I think Fred has been one of our best players.
I thought he was good. He was really good.
He just played well against Sevilla, man.
No. I think in terms of Fred, I think we need to talk. Just once. I think we need to talk about Fred for a second. I think when it comes to Fred,
I knew this was gonna come.
No, I'm sorry.
I literally his biggest fan.
I really thought Fred was the best midfielder for the longest time.
Just 1 second. I'm not Fred's biggest fanboy. We paid £50 million for him. Clearly, we clearly overpaid. But I think we're watching 2 different games. I think we expect 2 different things from Fred. I think that's where I think you expect maybe a little more solidity defensively in terms of playing as a sitting midfielder. But for me, I see him as playing the same role Ander Herrera used to play. And I think Ander Herrera was an excellent player. And although Fred did not live up to Ander Herrera's, kind of role as of yet, I think he will. Although Ander Herrera didn't win anything, he was very
much
good
potential, dude.
But I think that Fred this year, until Pogba came back, was one of our players of the season because he has that energy to press the ball, to run back on defense. Although he's in a sitting midfielder, he's a good technical player. Looking for.
I'm not going to say he's not a good player. He's a good player, but I agree with you. I have different expectations of him, and I don't think he's meeting those. And I know it's not just me. Like, I've seen this in a lot of different places. Well, not necessarily meeting my expectations. You see, you've asked me for flops, right? And for me, that's why I'm completely happy with him. He proved me wrong, to be fair, against Sevilla.
He was excellent against Sevilla.
Excellent. I can't say anything about it. Like, even though I was clearly very frustrated with that game, very evident in every social media story of mine.
Everyone remembers the Instagram rant. Everyone remembers it. Everyone.
Oh.
Iconic. And I had to calm this guy down for like 15 minutes on the PlayStation party, and I wouldn't listen.
I was so done. Yeah, bro. I'm telling you, I just can't wait for us to talk about the transfer window. That's when I'm gonna actually go off.
Okay, this is
going to be... those were... I don't have 3 flops. I have 2 flops, but
James?
Players of season C. No, I told you that 2 seasons.
Flop, dude. You can't.
I give 2 seasons.
You're too young.
I gave James 2 seasons.
But if you talk about this season,
if I have to give, I still won't give it to him because It's too young for him to be called a flop. Like Maguire, you could like I understand why some people would call him
Okay,
a
let's
flop.
not say flops. Let's say most disappointing players. Not flops.
Okay,
Let's put
then
two
in that
each.
case,
Let's put two each.
then
Let's
if
put
we
Yeah,
two
see
let's
if it
put
has
two
to
and
be,
two. Yeah.
oh, then I'm putting Maguire's name then. I'm
Okay.
disappointed.
Fair
with
enough.
Maguire.
Fair enough. I think we've talked a lot
Abhiraj,
about Maguire.
Abhiraj, you go. You go.
No. I think I need to go last because I have a rant prepared. Not prepared, off the hook.
Rondo, go,
Both
bro.
of you.
I'll go after you.
Best players, I think. Oh, I really like Martial. I want to put him there.
Could have been playing for Arsenal, Wenger almost signed him. But who did Wenger almost sign?
Bruno and Wan-Bissaka. But Martial's a close second for me.
Okay, fair
And
enough.
the two flops, I think Maguire and De Gea. I think that's the only two that come to mind.
Adwaita?
Okay. So for me, if I had to do top three, I would say Bruno, Wan-Bissaka, and Martial. I mean, enough has been said about them, so I'm not gonna go into that. Flops, yeah, obviously, De Gea was probably one of my flops, and who's the other one?
Maguire.
Not Maguire. I thought Maguire was decent. I don't know why everybody gives him a. I mean, he's had, like you said, he's had shockers. I thought he was decent.
He's only a disappointment
Have you seen him
because
run?
we paid 80 million.
Yeah, fair enough. Exactly.
Yeah, I have seen him run, bro.
If we paid 40 or 50 million for him, I wouldn't say it's a disappointment. We paid 80 million for him. That's why I'm calling him a disappointment.
I think if you pay 20 million. Okay.
I don't think this guy's a disappointment because he didn't play much. But then I don't know. I thought he would have played much. Diogo Dalot.
Ooh,
That's a shout.
That is a shout.
That's a shout.
Oh my God,
Respect.
He was. I read a couple of reviews on him when you guys signed him, and everybody said he had great potential, first team potential, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then midway through season, everybody's writing him off, and I was like, "What up? Like, what's happening?" Injury prone, lost confidence, and then there was a point in time where he wasn't.
Ole gave up on him. Ole doesn't.
Yeah, Ole gave up on him. Like I think
That
you
is
guys
a
played
good shout.
and I was like, "What? This is ridiculous."
Yeah, that was what I was.
Respect.
Yeah, we were all thinking that. I think Diogo Dalot is a very good player, but I don't think he fits into Ole's system.
Mate, wait for my Brandon Williams rant. Wait for it, bro.
Bags full of potential.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I read like everywhere.
Yeah, I think he will be a good player in the future. Maybe not for us. I mean, that'll be our loss. But I think
he has to go, bro. It's time for him to
He's
go.
he's linked with Barca.
Yeah. Oh, bro. Barca needs to change their entire
team. We talked about this. Okay. Okay. Best players this season for me. I won't put Wan-Bissaka on there for the sole reason that I think our attack was way better than our defense. Although Wan-Bissaka individually was excellent. For me, it's Bruno, Martial, Rashford. I think that Rashford has been simply super this season.
You can't call Rashford. Okay, fine.
Come on. I mean, I know his end of the season.
Bro, he played so bad at the end, man. I was so frustrated. You saw he played against Sevilla.
But remember how he played against Crystal Palace?
You can't.
Come on.
What was the more important game? Don't make this comparison.
He got injured at the beginning of the game when Diego Carlos jumped into his knee. Stuck his studs in above his knee. I mean, come on. And yes, I do agree Rashford had a bad end to the season, but I think Rashford...
but he was very consistent, dude, throughout the season.
Rashford, PSG, stay away. We're not selling Rashford. We've got a front four.
That's the most ridiculous transfer room I ever had in my life.
No way. I mean, come on.
Right?
See, we're not selling Rashford. It's not happening. So, I mean, just stop trying. Like, come on. And I think Martial was superb. Bruno... biggest disappointments for the season. I'm going to go backwards. So I have 4. It seems a bit much. Okay, I'm going to go Dan James at number 4. But I do believe that he towards the end of the season, he was extremely poor. But I think he will get better. Number 3, Andreas Pereira, just absolutely.
Okay.
The fact that Andreas Pereira was starting games for Man United, I felt like jumping into the middle of the road and having a bus run.
The fact that Andres Pereira and Phil Jones has a contract with my team frustrates me.
I'm not even counting Phil Jones as flop. I'm already considering Phil Jones gone.
Yeah, he's dead in the water.
But Andreas Pereira, flop. Number 2, I don't consider Maguire a flop. I think he had a decent season.
Say De Gea, man.
No, one
waiting for you
second.
to say
One
De
second.
Gea's
One
name.
second.
So
One
De Gea is
second.
probably going to be his
Hold
number
on.
one
Hold
flop.
on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
I'm waiting for his De Gea rant.
Wait, I didn't think my rant was about here. I think
So
my number.
that happened, bro. Semi-final FA Cup. You see his Instagram
Let's not
story.
talk about this. Okay, please. Number 2, flop of the season for me. Oh God, Abhiraj is actually going to rip me apart for this. Oh God, Eric Bailly. I think Eric Bailly is he's a good player.
Dude, it's a fair shot. Abhiraj is a fair shot. Dude, he was injured like 3-4
I think
this
not
season.
just injured,
Not
but
a
I think
flop.
he
Not a
makes
disappointment, man.
he makes so many mistakes at the back. So many errors. Maguire doesn't make as many errors. I think he's so careless at the back for me. I mean, we did see him do a couple of step overs against Chelsea, and I think everyone just overhyped it. Like, oh my God, he can do step overs. He's a professional football player. Come on, he's supposed to be able to do step overs. And Eric Bailly, I think when he came in, I was really happy because his FIFA account was amazing, and I thought, I got to finally use him in the game. Then I didn't get FIFA for 3 years when Eric Bailly was at Man United. But I think Eric Bailly this season, I expected more from him than I got. Obviously, injuries played a part. I'm happy he's okay after the head collision against Chelsea. And
Oh, that was scary.
but I think that I don't think he has a place in Ole's system. And but he maybe as a substitute, I guess he's good. But I expect more. And my number 1, I don't have a number 1. I have a number 0. Oh my God. Ooh. Okay.
Say it.
David De Gea was the best goalkeeper in the world for 3 years straight, in my opinion. 24 years. 2014 to 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018. That's 4 seasons because 14, 15, 15, 16, 16, 17, 17, 18, right? He was the best goalkeeper and he was one of my favorite players. And I mean, I respect the hell out of David De Gea, what he's given to a club. Club legend, 400 appearances, most clean sheets in the Premier League era at least ever. But in the last 2 seasons, David De Gea has absolutely bottled it over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Oh my God. Oh.
I don't know, man. It's
But you guys
frustrating to see.
I will say you guys have you found a long-term replacement for him, right?
We have
See,
a long
I know.
term.
That goalkeeper you loaned out to
Henderson.
Screw the long term. Just get Dean Henderson in there. Just get him in there.
No.
Get him in there. I mean, it's not going to happen because, I mean, playing for Sheffield United and playing for Man United are 2 different things. And David De Gea.
That's his name, right? Dean Henderson.
Yeah, and they threw away 300K a week on David De Gea.
That is your long term. That's why I said he's your long term replacement.
But the problem is,
See,
we can't have players making key mistakes against Chelsea in the FA Cups. Against Chelsea in the FA Cup.
I could have saved one of those goals. I don't even play goalkeeper.
Okay. And against Spurs, Bergwijn shot. It was straight in his lap.
I remember this. No. So I'll tell you how it was. I remember this.
And people, one second, Abhiraj, I'm sorry. One second, people were criticizing Roy Keane like, oh, he's too hard on De Gea. No, he's not. When you're goalkeeper of Man United, you're supposed to make those saves. The ball's coming straight at you. I don't care how hard. Just stick something there. Make sure the ball doesn't go in the goal. 1 second. I'm talking. Stop. David De Gea should be doing much better than he is. He can't be one of the number 1 goalkeeper for Man United. A legendary player, no doubt about it. And if he starts next season, God, I just want pre-Ronaldo hat-trick David De Gea. If it happens, I'll be so happy. I'll be so happy if it happens. But
I don't know. It's just, I feel like level of confidence is completely gone.
I think it might have something to do with the goalkeeping.
I think it's his ego. That, and I think that the ego's got to his head, honestly. I feel like he knows that I think it really got to his head that, that he knew that he was the best player in the world. So he took things with so much more relaxed. I remember this, when Bergwijn scored his goal as well. I was about to show you guys. When the ball was coming, right? So you put both your hands in the way to block the ball, but he did this. I don't know why his fist was closed and then one arm is behind that. It's simple mistakes he's making, which frustrates me so much as a United fan.
And I understand.
And it sucks. It sucks. It's obvious. Like, I'm sure even for Abhiraj, it sucks to talk shit about him, right? Because he was literally our best player for so many years during the worst of our times. De Gea is who saved us. De Gea saved us, and I've been very patient with him, right? And see, I don't agree with getting in Dean Henderson. I still agree giving De Gea another season. But if we get in Dean Henderson,
he's 28.
No. See, exactly. And if we get in Dean Henderson, I won't be annoyed. I wouldn't be this thing, but I'd get it. But I don't agree with it because see, look, people very easily say that like, oh, just get Henderson and sell De Gea. no one's paying 300k to De Gea. Like, let's
That's
just
the
be very
problem.
honest.
That is the problem.
And De Gea won't take the pay cut, right? So I think, realistically speaking, we will have De Gea for the rest of the season, and Henderson will go out on loan. I want Henderson to go back out on loan for the season. Depending on how De Gea does this season, I still believe that, you know, there's still a bit of me inside of me that believes that he can get back to his normal form. But yeah, so if it doesn't work out this season, then Henderson's in for sure. Henderson's been quality.
I think honestly, although Dean Henderson will be upset, this might not work. I think making that number one spot a fight might bring out the best in De Gea. With Ole not announcing a number one, I think, because you talked about that kind of complacency that's set in for De Gea, right? Maybe, I mean, I don't know.
No, but Henderson is too good of a player to be playing that sort of a position with De Gea where they both fight for number one. Because
then I don't mind. Maybe
that'll be a waste of his potential.
Yeah, exactly. Henderson playing only FA Cup / Champions. No, De Gea will be Champions League now. It's on Europa League, right? So we're basically saying Dean Henderson would take over Romero's role, and that's not okay with me.
Yeah.
Henderson's class goalie.
No.
He's a class goalie. England is filled with good goalies now for some weird reason.
Two good goalies. If anyone calls Jordan Pickford a good goalie, I will personally come to the house and give them a earful. He's worse than De Gea.
So I don't think at all. I completely disagree with that, Dheeraj. Look, I'm
fair enough. I mean, we disagree on quite a bit, don't we? I mean, it's okay.
Squad depth wise, yes, we do need that, but not a goalkeeper. At least we can get another good goalie. I don't think we do need that though, because Romero is fine. But no, I don't want Henderson coming in as a person who fights with De Gea for number one. No,
okay, fair shout.
That's very unhealthy. Dude, it creates a very unhealthy environment.
Okay, I get that. All right, now before we move on to talking about the upcoming season, transfer needs and things like that, just want to again revert to the young players that always born. I think there's not much to say about Mason Greenwood that hasn't already been said. He's to me the best young talent in the world.
Oh, he's
on that level with Phil Foden.
Young POTY.
Natural.
Phil Foden's on the same level as Greenwood.
I mean, Phil Foden is a creative player.
Young player of the year.
Oh no, Trent already
Trent's
won that. Trent already won that.
Trent.
All right, but anyway, I think Greenwood, as a pure finisher, number 9.
How old is Trent?
Trent is 22.
He's 23.
Yeah, 23. But I think that Greenwood is just, towards the end of the season, he was almost on his own, like in terms of goal scoring.
Greenwood was 2001.
I mean, like right foot, left foot, he's got everything. Like I just don't see what he's not got. Absolutely, even he doesn't know what a strong foot is. And I keep saying this, and I'll keep saying it again. When a player doesn't know what a strong foot is, that can either be a really bad thing or a really good thing. And now it's a really good thing because this guy's got he's an absolute rocket of a right leg and an absolute rocket of a left leg. He takes penalties with his right foot and takes free kicks with his left foot. I think this kid, the ceiling isn't in sight.
The ceiling is the ceiling is whatever he wants it to be.
Exactly.
So that's the kind of pedestal he's on.
Okay.
It's completely on him.
But now, Mason Greenwood, I think there's not much to say. Elite young player. I think Abhiraj will enjoy this. Brandon Williams, Abhiraj, go.
Every day I wake up, and I just think, why in God's name do we play this player? He is so dog shit. He's a right-footed player playing at left back. Wait, stop 1 second. He does not have a left foot. Left foot. You should see him. He goes in, he's about to make a cross, but then he realizes that he's not left foot, so he cuts in and he gets caught. He is such a bad player. He can't stop the cross. Never. Oh my goodness. The goal we conceded against Sevilla, right? The one which is a tap in for Luke de Jong, that was on Brandon Williams. Brandon Williams did not stop that cross.
Deflection. Yeah,
but so this is what I'm saying. He's a horrible player, and I apologize. Play him at right back. He let him try at right back. As a backup to Wan-Bissaka.
Mm-hmm.
It frustrates me so much how Ole is putting Brandon Williams over Fosu Mensah and Diego Dalot. The name you mentioned, Advaita. Okay, I get it, Dalot. The one game I've seen Fosu Mensah play, he can play left back. Maybe not the best left back, but the fact that he consistently plays Brandon Williams ever since Shaw's injury, it just frustrates me. Brandon Williams is not the level we all push for him to be. We all push that, because we got Greenwood in as well. Let's get in Brandon Williams. No, we don't need to do this. Brandon Williams is not ready to play for this United starting 11. Not at all a left back. If the season starts and if Ole plays Brandon Williams at left back after everything that's happened, he's not going to progress as a manager. He's clearly just having blind faith in players, which is frustrating me to the max. Because it's against Sevilla. When I watched that game, right, it frustrated me to the max.
Against Chelsea too.
And that's what I'm saying, right? He can't hold the ball for too long. He'll try and the passes he makes are so basic and it's so easy. You can read his passes so well because he does the same thing over and over again. Frustrates me. And the main thing is he cannot play with Rashford. He makes Rashford genuinely a worse player. He cannot complement Rashford because Rashford has this very unique, very simple thing to him. He makes this one simple pass into the box, a very basic, not that fast pass, which Williams can't feed off of because he's right-footed, he's on left-footed. So whichever pass Rashford will make to Williams, he has to cut in because he has no left foot. He's a right-footed player playing at left back, which is frustrating me now.
And we're not playing inverted fullbacks. We're not Barcelona. We don't play inverted fullbacks. So that's the one thing that's lost on me, See, I will say about Brandon Williams, I think he needs to go out on loan. Maybe he has. I saw some of the defensive tenacity and the potential that you look for. I think it's there somewhere in there. But playing with a left back is an absolute blunder. Like he cannot.
Try him at right back.
Try him at right back. That's try him in midfield if you want, but do not play him at left back. That is the worst decision you could possibly make. Try him at right back. Send him out on loan to a championship club is what I'd say, because, I mean, he was good. He was good before the lockdown. But
in my opinion, Brandon Williams is a bigger liability to this team than De Gea is. He is. We are so weak.
I think the only thing I'd say, the only reason I disagree is because De Gea plays almost every game and Brandon Williams only plays when Luke Shaw is injured. But let me just.
So whatever I'm saying right now about Brandon Williams, we're talking about right now because that's what's fresh in our mind, right?
Yeah, fair enough.
He's been so dog shit. He's been so bad. There is not one good thing I can say about him. He's adding no meaningful contribution to this team. This is where I hate Ole. If you can blindly has faith in this guy, does jack shit. I get it, okay? You're not on good terms with Diego Dallo. Give him a chance. Against Sevilla, I cannot, bro. We had to win that game. That was our game. Yep. I've never ranted on my Instagram about a game. You know how pissed I got after that game.
Yeah.
Freaking Brandon Williams makes, not only does he play shit, he makes Rashford play shit.
Yep.
Okay? Shaw, compare him to Shaw, dude. Shaw, I remember
it's chalk and cheese,
after lockdown. After lockdown, the game against Spurs, Shaw pissed me off. Shaw didn't play well at all that game. He pissed me off defensively. He didn't play well. And then he turned it around. He was literally our most important player. Just notice when Shaw got injured, we struggled to win games. We were not winning with that same amount of relaxation while playing games. Shaw makes that team better.
Yep.
If we go into next season, right, we don't, and if Brandon Williams is our second choice left back, we are not going ahead as a club.
Okay,
he is going to be the reason.
We're going to transfers in a second, and Abhiraj, left back is one of the biggest holes that needs to be plugged. You're absolutely right. Brandon Williams I think he has some potential, but he can't play at left back. Cannot play at left back. I mean, maybe if he can go play left back at Man City, maybe or something, but he obviously isn't up to that quality. I mean, actually, he's better than any left back City currently has, so why not? But Brandon Williams, and I think we have a lot of promising youngsters coming through, though. Players like James Gunn, who they're saying can fill in that managed role in a couple of years. Ethan Laird is I think maybe another couple of seasons, maybe he can even compete with Wan-Bissaka because the potential is clearly there. Players like obviously Teden Mengi as a long-term option at centre back is an excellent player, quick.
What are your thoughts on what are your thoughts on Chong?
Choupo-Moting.
Sorry.
Chong. I have heard Aditya Srikumar tell me that Chong should be played at left back.
Stop this.
Listen, I don't agree, but I think Chong is a winger. Sorry, Adi, clearly Abhiraj doesn't agree with you. But I think Chong as a winger, I think has bags of potential, But he's like 20. I think honestly, we sent him on loan to Werder Bremen. I don't think that was the right move. I think we should have kept him. I think he provides a much better option than Dan James off the bench, because he has got the decision-making capability. But if you see the players that we brought into the youth academy, we've got a bright future. And like players like Filip Stevanovic, who I've seen highlights of, oh my God, he just looks like, it's unbelievable. I mean, he's 17 years old. He looks incredible. And then Hannibal, was it Hannibal Mejbri? Is that his name? If I'm getting it right. Again, great creative player. I think United's academy is bustling with potential and players that will break through to the first team, especially under Ole, who isn't afraid to give young players a chance. But I just hope he doesn't do it blindly like he has with Brandon Williams at the last part of the season. Abhiraj was completely right. Okay, so now we're finally done with last season. We're going to look forward to this season. Okay, guys, transfer dealings. I'm going to ask you. I'm going to start with Aaron on this. Aaron, where do you think what do you think the biggest holes that need to be plugged are at United? The most necessary buys.
Biggest holes.
Yeah, the most necessary buys basically at positions in terms of position.
I think you guys need one centre back.
Yep.
So I'm just saying it based on what I see, not from the rumors. I think if I would say it was one centre back and probably a CDM, because March is getting up there.
Fair enough.
I think everywhere else you have players to fill in, and who can do a job there.
Gueto?
Me, like you guys said, for me, I think the most crucial is, if Luke Shaw is healthy, then Luke Shaw. Yeah. But if Luke Shaw isn't healthy, which is a big question mark, you need a left back that can fill that position. Matic is getting old, so you might need a holding midfielder. You guys brought out some options from the youth academy. Maybe that's what Ola will do. He's not one to buy big name signings. I think he's the kind that would cultivate the youth.
Yeah, but I don't think that's ready yet, I think it's still necessary to make some buys.
Yeah. So a CDM and then probably a centre back is what you need. Like Maguire is good, but I don't know if he's decent. I'm not saying he's good, but that lack of pace is gonna hurt you, dude, sooner or later.
Yeah, fair enough.
Also, I think more than that, you guys need bench depth.
Yeah.
That's also one of your main weaknesses. You guys really do not have any bench.
I think in my opinion, at least two defenders, one left back and one centre back at minimum. Definitely a holding midfielder, one wide player, and I think those are the essentials. But then again, as you said, bench strength in terms of creative players, because if Bruno's injured, we're screwed. What are we going to do? Who are we going to play at number 10? We have Lingard for next season, but he's so inconsistent. He didn't have a good season this year. We don't know what he's going to look like next season. And again, Pogba is also injury prone, as probably the best player on our team, which I think Paul Pogba is the best player at Manchester United right now. Even though Bruno's a 1-foot player, Paul Pogba is the best player at United. I think not a replacement, but obviously a backup for him. And look, we're going to be playing in 1, 2, 3, 4 big competitions next season. And this is not the Europa League where you can rest players, where you can play youth players in the group stages and in the round of 16. This is a Champions League, man. Champions League is the biggest tournament, best tournament for me in the world of sports, apart from maybe the Cricket World Cup or the Football World Cup. And you need your top players there. You need top replacements there. And that's why bringing in players of top quality, not just any players into play on the bench. Like if you play Dan James in a Champions League game, I'd have a heart attack. So we need to bring players in with some form of quality, that kind of bench depth that Man City, Bayern Munich, even Liverpool to a certain extent possess. I think it's very important. Abhiraj?
Yeah.
Oh. We are not getting Sancho.
Yep, I agree.
You're a joke.
I agree.
We're not getting anyone. We're gonna no, listen to me, yeah. We're gonna end up getting freaking we're linked with Douglas Costa, yeah. You understand?
Yeah.
Joke.
Yeah, I saw that.
Douglas Costa, okay? Now look, I'm gonna say what I want, but Glazers are a joke, Woodward's a joke. This is why we need a sporting director.
I agree.
We're a joke of a team. But see, number one is Sancho, okay? Like you said, if Fernandes is injured, I have complete faith in Sancho playing cam.
Even as a number 10, yeah, excellent player.
Yeah, so Sancho for that. That's number one. Number two is I want a left center back, a left-footed left center back, just to make this very,
Oh, no,
very
okay,
clear.
let's discuss names now, guys. I think a player maybe like Pau Torres from Villarreal is an excellent option.
For me, my first choice was honestly Gabriel, but that's not happening now.
But I think I honestly take Pau Torres over Gabriel. The thing about Gabriel is, again, he does possess similar attributes to Maguire. We need someone who's quicker and someone with the similar physical stature.
Gabriel's fast.
Yeah, Gabriel's quick.
He's
Not
fast. He's
really,
fast.
no, he's not that fast.
Also, then again, we all have just watched highlights. We can't say anything about it.
Don't make your judgment.
I think any name
No,
you
don't
mention
say
is-
it. Don't say it.
No.
Shh.
Abhiraj.
Honestly, I think any name we mention isn't worth it, because I think the only person we actually have enough knowledge on is Sancho. I think he's the one guaranteed signing who will definitely be good no matter what. Anyone else, it's a toss-up.
You've got to find a way to get the deal done. It looks less and less likely. All the United fans are optimists. I think
it'll happen. I think it will happen. I think he's the one guy you'll sign.
I think you guys are just going to be disappointed, in my opinion. I don't think we're Sancho this season.
Apparently, we're going for Bournemouth's David Brooks, and this is what frustrates me. Why are we shopping for players from the Championship?
I honestly think David Brooks as a player is similar. He's similar to Dan James. He's a Welsh player, isn't he? A Welsh player?
No, he's English. Bro, he's English, and he's 2 years left on his contract. So knowing United and he's English, 30 million. What a waste.
I think a player like if we're not able to get Sancho, I think a player like Jack Grealish would be a great player. But again,
see, for me,
70 million probably.
Grealish is not happening. This Villa State, this is not going to happen. For me, look, Sancho overall as a player, and another person.
Declan Rice.
Stop it.
I would absolutely love Declan Rice. What a player! I mean,
bro, you have some weird attraction towards him.
No, I would love Declan Rice. He's a brilliant player.
What I don't get about United's transfer policy, honestly, is you guys signed Bruno from the Portuguese league, and he is a revelation for you guys. I don't get why you're so obsessed with English players. Apart from Sancho, because he's there in the Bundesliga and he's done extremely well. But there's no way a player like Grealish or David Brooks or whoever you guys are mentioning will have the impact you guys want. They might be better. They might be good bench depth, but they definitely won't be starters for you guys in any sort of way.
I think that's a bit rough to say about Grealish, but I think a player like, again, you might say he's a bit overhyped because he's English, but I've watched Declan Rice play, and Declan Rice is an absolute.
Also price it'd be much cheaper to actually go.
Rice, 70 million pounds probably.
You're saying,
United is called Brexit United, because we just keep going for English players. The issue with our team is we need to have more faith in our European scouts.
Exactly, I agree with you.
The fact, City got Fernando Torres, for 20 million. Solid. Pay 20 million only for him, and if we get Brooks, we have to pay at least 30 million. That's a joke. This what frustrates me. But for left centre back, I was doing a bit of looking into, the AC Milan player Alessio Romagnoli.
Yeah, but I don't think that's happening. Because again, although he's left-footed, again he's not the quickest.
See, for me, look, just getting Sancho is not going to help.
100%. I don't even think Sancho's our biggest need, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
He's not your need, but he will come into your squad and be so good for you guys.
I hope. I'm praying every day for that to happen.
Although I think it will kind of hamper Greenwood's growth, because I think he's good enough for your first 11. But then
I don't think Greenwood's dropped. Rashford's getting dropped. I have a feeling Rashford's getting dropped.
I don't think anyone's getting dropped. I think that in order to play, I don't think anyone's getting dropped. The only reason Ole's been playing the same team every game is because he doesn't have any other players to play. When he has other players to play, he's going to have that rotation going on. And our front four is probably going to be the best in the league, no matter who we play.
So who's playing besides Pogba then, if no one gets dropped?
What do you mean? That's why.
You said if Sancho comes in, you said no one gets dropped.
No. You might say. I'm not saying. I'm saying it's not being dropped. I think a rotation policy will be implemented. I think you have Martial and Greenwood probably. Maybe Greenwood plays a number 9 a bit more, while Martial gets a bit more, rest. He's been playing every game, and these players have been injured for a couple of months this season. In order to avoid that, exactly rotation. And we're playing the Champions League this season. I mean, if we get into the knockout stage, it could be 8, 10, 12, 14, hopefully 15 games for us. Let's see. I don't know.
I want at least United to make 3 signings, 2 to 3 signings at least.
Minimum. And I think at least
we're already on August 22nd and we haven't made 23rd of August.
23rd.
We haven't made any signing. The only big news we've had so far is that our captain was in jail. That's it. That's it. Like literally, this is the state of our club. This is the state of our club. I'm getting day by day. I get frustrated. You know, I have like Fabrizio Romano's tweet notification on, so whenever he tweets, I get a notification.
I know your heart almost skips a beat. Like, please, let's be about United, and then
man,
every time.
Even during the podcast, I confirmed Gabriel, and I got so frustrated. Like it had to be during the podcast when I didn't better here.
I'm fine about Gabriel would have been a good addition, but I prefer a quicker player there. Although he is a good player.
If United sign Josh King, I will stab myself to death.
Wasn't Josh King a United player? Did we sell him because he wasn't good enough for their club?
Bro, apparently Ole has some mad relationship with him and Ole wants him in our team.
Because he's Norwegian.
Yes, I will kill myself if he joins United. I'm done with United then. I'm like...
Listen, if I'm being honest, I think what's going to happen for you guys, you'll sign... I don't see you guys signing 3 players or the 3 players the 3 needs you have. I think you'll sign Sancho. I think I'll get to a point where Dortmund will have to sell him because
they're getting
they will want the money eventually.
Yeah.
But if I was a United fan, I would be pissed at the links you guys have. Like, what's this? Like Abhiraj said, the obsession with English players and like championship players. Like, let's be honest. Like, your best signing was from a smaller league, but still, it was one of your best signings for a smaller price. Think about that. You're talking about Declan Rice for 70 million. Bruno for 50 million is insane.
And I think an alternative Declan Rice, actually, this guy I would put above Declan Rice in that pecking order. From Ajax, I mean, Van de Beek. There was so much interest.
Yeah. No, but I heard Ronald Koeman was going to go for Van de Beek. I think.
No one wants to join.
It makes more sense to play.
Barca cannot sign players right now. The financially in their
also, this is one of the links that Arsenal have right now, but. You guys want, Abhiraj wants Declan for 70. He's a CDM, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Thomas Partey.
We're being linked to 40, who has release clause of 45 million euros, I think.
But Thomas Partey is
45 million.
Thomas Partey is 28 years old. Declan Rice is 21. There's a difference.
He's 27, yeah, but then he'll come into your squad and be exactly who you need for like the next 5 years.
I mean, I get it. But Matic was 27.
And the difference in quality is absurd.
Fair enough.
There's a reason why he plays for one of the best teams in the world in a defensive system. Think about that. Like,
I mean, maybe
it's less money and it's a better player.
We're gonna come out of this transfer season with. We're not gonna get Sancho. I'm like, Aaron, you're more positive.
No, I'll be honest.
No, I think you'll get him.
Yeah, we're not getting him at all.
Because you guys have this tendency to just drag out deals, right?
I hope it happens.
United are bare stupid, yeah. They're gonna make the money back on Sancho. This is what I hate about our team. We're gonna make the money back. We're playing Champions League football. We got the extra money as well. Sell the fucking players, man. Sell them. Sell the players.
Buy players that fit into your system and fit into your position. Like,
see, you
don't have to buy replacements for every position.
As Man United, the problem is we're made to overpay for every player because every club knows, they have the money. They have the money. Let's make the money.
The biggest dub is that we sold Alexis Sanchez. He's not on our payroll anymore. That's the biggest.
450k a week. Oh my god, unbelievable. Okay, guys, I think transfers. Abhiraj and I are very pessimistic, but. We're still praying. We're still hoping for something.
You guys will get someone. Trust me.
You get someone.
They get someone.
They just need to get.
Just hope it's not an English player who is
not Sancho.
Yeah. Apart from Sancho, yeah. You know, Sancho is not even English for me. He's like
he's German.
He's part German for me. Yeah.
I mean, he's an excellent player. 17 goals, 16 assists last year. Incredible. Okay, guys. Finishing off, what do you think would? All say together, what do you think will be considered a successful season and what do you think United will do next? Also, wait, I want to mention this one thing. Everybody's been talking about how we got knocked out of three Champions League, three semi-finals in the past season. And I think I just attribute that to us having a really, really, really young team and a lack of experience, you know. I don't think there's anything to worry about in that sense. I think as time goes on, we will be able to get into those finals, get into those big games and win the big games. Maybe the fact that our average age is 24 and our best player is, I mean, 25, 26, 27. Pogba's probably the most experienced player. And even he's only 27. I think that, except Matic, of course, I think that with a bit of time, I think those woes in the final portions of the tournament will be smoothed out. People have that ability. Because in the Europa League, it is clear for everyone to see the goalkeeper just turned into prime David De Gea when they saw Man United striker. I could see Abhiraj getting frustrated because he was screaming about this for quite a while, you know. But
who is Johansson, that Copenhagen goalie?
Who's
Who
Bono?
is he, man?
Who's Bono? I think both of those players would fit in perfectly into Chelsea's lineup right now. I think they should consider moving for them. I mean, that anyone's better than I could play better.
Always throw shit at Chelsea. It's
Yeah,
very needed.
I gotta do it. Okay, guys. Quickly finishing off, what would be considered a successful season, and what do you think will happen next season? Every competition. Abhiraj,
So for me, a successful season. So I'm assuming we talking about the team we have right now. Top 4.
Yeah.
100%. Top 4. We win either FA Cup or Carabao Cup. Don't expect to win both, at least one of them. And quarterfinals Champions League. I'll be happy with that.
What do you predict?
I predict 3rd. I predict we win Carabao. Arsenal are some mad team when it comes to FA Cup, so I'm not even going to say FA Cup. And Champions League, I think round of 16.
Fair enough.
That's right. I'm being realistic. I'm not going to keep high expectations.
Fair enough. Aaron?
I think. Wait, what's the question? What your expectation should be, or
what do you think would be considered successful, and what do you think will happen?
Yeah.
Oh, successful for you guys. I think you guys came 3rd this season, so the same thing for third again. I think you guys should aim to get 3rd and should aim to close the gap between
Yeah, I was going to say I didn't mention that. I didn't mention that. Yeah.
Carabao and FA Cup, I won't mention that because it's domestic cups, and I think you guys should place your priority on the Premier League and the Champions League. Champions League, again, quarterfinals would be good for you guys because it's your first time back in like 2 years, right? Or 1 year.
We didn't play last year. Before that, we played. So 1 year.
Yeah. So quarterfinals. What I think will happen, I think it's going to be Liverpool, City, Chelsea. Chelsea have really impressed me with, first of all, what they did this season with whoever they had. And transfers they've made so far have been insane. So I think they'll come 3rd. As an Arsenal fan, I hope to get 4th, but I think you guys might get 4th. You have a better squad right now. Champions League round of 16, yeah. You know what? I'll say quarterfinals. I'll be positive for once for you guys.
I think no team is going to compete with Liverpool City in the Premier League this year. So yeah, I'd say 3rd. I think 3rd would be realistic, and it would also be, I think you guys should consider it successful. So 3rd in the Premier League. Probably 1 domestic cup. I mean, that shouldn't be your priority, but I think I'd say 1 domestic cup, and then Champions League. I think you guys will make it to the quarters, and I think that should be successful. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay, one thing I want to mention is if Arsenal sign a midfielder, I'm putting us 4th.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
Okay, for me.
And if you guys don't sign Sancho, that's my.
Okay, so what I want to happen. Sorry, like my goals for success would be closing the point gap on Liverpool City. I'd say, let's say, not more than max 15 points from the league winners, at maximum, nothing more. I'd say winning a domestic cup. I think you guys are undermining the value of a domestic cup, because even if it's...
No, I said you should win 1 domestic.
Oh, no, I'll talk about Aaron. Because I think even winning the FA Cup or a League Cup has a big impact on a young team.
But to be fair, it got us into European football, so...
It's good for confidence, but then, I think
winning some silverware is really important. And I think in the Champions League, quarterfinals. And what I think will happen... I'm going to give you my Premier League predictions for next season. I'm thinking City wins the league. I'm thinking
Liverpool's not winning.
Liverpool finished
Liverpool's
second.
not winning.
I think United finished third. I think Arsenal and Spurs fourth and fifth, and I think Chelsea finished sixth. I'm not convinced about Chelsea.
Nah, I think Chelsea will finish.
I think
top four.
Frank-
Wait, have you seen who Chelsea have
I
signed?
think
Who they're going to sign?
I think Frank Lampard's an absolute
Oh
bottler.
my
I don't think he
God.
deserves all the plaudits he's getting. I just don't see it. I'm sorry.
No,
I do.
That's,
I do.
That's unfair. That's actually.
I absolutely hate Chelsea. This is bias
do not
speaking,
respect
so
that.
I mean, deal with it.
You
But
know,
okay.
Dheeraj, you know Chelsea.
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to
team
talk
I
about it.
hate the most.
Okay, I don't think.
Okay.
But they will make it to top 4, 100%.
I don't think so.
They're
I
linked
think.
with Thiago Silva also now. But yeah.
I think Mourinho's.
Thiago Silva is getting old. I don't know why they're
Mourinho never fails in his second season. The second season always ends up being his best season. I think he finished top 4. I think Arsenal under Arteta or something else. I think they're going to be challenging for the league and all that.
Yeah, for once, optimistic for Arsenal.
And there's
Making
like
good signings.
there's a big
Do you
restructure.
really think Chelsea are worse than us?
I think in terms
Liverpool,
of
not Liverpool.
I think
Spurs,
in terms of manager, it's not even close. I think Chelsea have an absolute bottler at the helm. I think Frank Lampard. Okay, he's done well. He's done well with
in the semi-finals.
Yeah, but we beat him thrice before that, so I mean, I don't see how.
I understand that, but I understand that.
And then he lost in the FA Cup final against. He lost in the final against FA Cup. So what's the
Okay.
What's
But the
point?
performance you guys had against Chelsea was not good at all.
But
you guys were defensive. You changed your formation up for them.
No, we changed the formation.
And you were resting your players.
We were resting our players. And I just don't see it. I think Frank Lampard has done a good job. Frank Lampard has done a good job with young players. Just one thing, can I just finish? I think Frank Lampard has done a good job with the young players, but I think with players like Warner and Ziyech coming in, I think he's absolutely going to bottle it next season. He's going to get sacked by Abramovich, and I see a manager like I would hate for this to happen, but I see maybe even Poch taking over at Chelsea. I see Poch or maybe Allegri taking over at Chelsea.
I think Chelsea will do really well next season.
But maybe. I could be completely wrong, but I don't see it happening. I don't think Frank Lampard's a good manager.
That's not a London team's.
But I think Arsenal are a team. They have, in my opinion, probably the best striker in the Premier League in Obama Block Yang. Yeah, so they're best striker in the Premier League in my opinion, especially on current form.
I'm telling you, bro. He watches more Arsenal fan TV than.
Yeah, you understand.
Listen, Arsenal Fan TV is the best YouTube channel. I mean, guys, come on. Even better than the Full Court Press.
Apart from us, mate. Chill out.
Okay, fine. You watch the Full Court Press, but right after you're done with this video, you go watch Troops on AFTV.
Okay.
Hey, no free plugs. What are you saying? No free plugs.
Sorry, no free
plugs.
Let them
plug us first.
No free plugs. Sorry. But yeah, I see Arsenal and Spurs 4th, 5th, and Chelsea at 6th. And in the Champions League, I see Manchester United making the semi-finals. I don't know. I just do. It just is what it is, I think the problem is, I see the thing is for me, when it comes to playing against the biggest teams, we're so good. We're so good against the biggest teams. Because we hit teams in the counter-attack and they have no answer. I think if we played against a team if we played against Bayern, although I think it would just be. No, 1 second. I think Bayern would still
end this call, man.
1 second. Bayern would still beat us, of course, but I think it would be a game like that would end like 4-2 or 4-3, something like that. It'd just be an end-to-end game because we have the capability to hit teams on the counter-attack.
Lewandowski against Maguire, man. It's going to be 10-2 or something, man.
No, not 10.
That's disrespectful, but still okay, fine.
Imagine Gnabry running through that defense.
I think Gnabry.
You're gonna put Maguire on him.
Gnabry against Williams.
Why you?
Shaw can't stop Gnabry, but Shaw
I'm just saying, you brought it up.
Shaw can't
do not compare yourselves against Bayern.
And I think added Van Bissaka against Leroy Sané is a mismatch. We've seen that in the two Manchester derbies this season. Leroy Sané is nothing compared to Van Bissaka,
Nice. This is how we get negative subscribers.
Come on, I'm just messing around. But I generally do think we played really, really well against the big teams. I think especially with teams like Real Madrid, Barcelona in transition, I don't think they'll make it through the semi-finals next season. Team like Bayern is at the top of their game. And obviously the English teams, I think we have experience of beating them, experience of playing them. We know how to play them. And for some reason, I just think we'll be able to find a way to the semi-final. And also when it comes to, you need the luck of the draw, so I'm also relying on the draw to be kind of easy in the knockouts, as it has been for Liverpool when they won the Champions League. So
they lost this season.
That was the season before.
Yeah, always got an easy draw, but we got Sevilla, so one of the toughest, tough team for us to play. But yeah, that's my prediction. Abhiraj, thank you so much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, no worries. Honestly, I
pleasure,
appreciate you guys.
Abhiraj.
Appreciate
Thank you, sir.
you guys having me. Yeah,
This is
Thank
probably
you
thank you
for
guys having me
this.
on, man. It
I
was
think
actually
PayPal you
mad
soon.
fun.
paper.
Your bank account will slowly be rising up.
No,
Okay,
but
I
honestly,
Expect
you
some
guys are
money coming
doing.
your way.
Honestly, no, guys. For real though, you guys are like doing a sick job. The podcast, like I've been on this podcast with you guys like 2 hours. It doesn't even feel like it's been 2 hours. So you guys are doing a good job. And honestly speaking, like I have been watching the podcast, guys. Like I won't lie, I actually have been. You guys are doing a good job.
Thank you.
Pretty sick thing you guys are doing. Hope you guys keep continuing doing this. And please, for God's sake, when you guys do the Arsenal podcast, Arsenal season review, please grill Aaron. I'm telling you, I'm like one insult away from punching Aaron in the face.
That's my boy. I can't do
I'll take
that.
care of that. I
Listen,
think I'll be
to
the
make
one.
this more entertaining, I have to be the one actually refuting all the stuff you say, mate. I can't agree with you all the
Fair
time.
enough. We need a
Yeah.
dance.
It's more fun this way. It's actually more fun this way.
Yeah,
Think
no,
about
I'm
it.
playing,
If we all
bro,
agreed
I'm
with
playing.
you, mate.
We need a
No,
dance.
I'm playing.
But I think
Still
the Arsenal podcast is another one you'll be looking forward to. So guys,
Yeah,
Abhiraj, you've been great. Thank you so much. We hope to have you back on the podcast
Yeah.
sometime soon. You've been
Yeah, of course, 100%.
2 hours just flown
100%.
by. I don't
Thanks
even
so
know
much,
how
guys.
they've gone by, but they have.
Yeah.
I'm
But
gonna go
thank
get
you.
a
Lakers match in 10 minutes.
Okay, go Blazers.
All right.
Guys, thank you so much for watching us on the Full Court Press podcast. Make sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and we will be back for a new episode after the Champions League final. So see you later. Bye, guys.
See you.